What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode number 32 of the PrePatch podcast. And god damn it, man, I feel like I sort of got this one. I felt like took forever to get to. I don't know if it's just me.
It was a long stint.
It felt like
This
it
last
was
week
so much
was
longer
a
than
drug.
2 weeks to get here. I don't know.
Slow news weeks, man.
Yeah, but
But we're here now.
We're here. We're live. We're doing it. And honestly, hey, knock on wood. Like, it's no
The
Discord.
people on Spotify won't see that.
No Discord issues. Hey, they don't need to. That's why you should be here live. That's why you should be here live in our shows, whether you're on my channel over here at on YouTube, whether you're on Bill's or Scruffy's channel over on Discord. Or not Discord. Fuck, man.
I'm streaming on Discord.
I am exhausted, dude. I'm exhausted right now. But over on Twitch, you can join us live. We do this show every other Thursday live. You can be part of our amazing chat. You guys get to engage with us. We ask questions. We argue with you. We berate you. You berate me. It's a lovely, vicious cycle that we go through, but it's enjoyable, and that's why we do it. But as always, thank you to our amazing fans that are out there watching us live, but also too, if you can't catch us live, exclamation mark podcasts and all of the channels will get you the link to where you can download it on Spotify and or go to YouTube and watch it there. Where we're at, we're up to date yet, or are we almost there?
We're down one, I believe.
Down one episode.
We're 31 on or 30 on YouTube and Spotify, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Everything's up to date as far as like 30.
Okay, so
Yeah,
just one episode behind, but again, that's why you come here live. But it'll be up there shortly, guys. We have an amazing crew that does that, which is Scruffy and Enigma. They do a lot of back end work
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes work to make sure that all of that kind of stuff gets done. So, without further ado, we're gonna jump right into it. Twitch drama. I thought we were gonna be able to go one, man. I thought, dude, it was close. They were like,
We did last week, I think, right? There wasn't
Yeah.
anything last week.
No, I think
No,
last week I thought they had something, right?
it wasn't anything major. We were stretching.
Yeah,
I think we were. Yeah.
Well, this
Anyways.
one, I thought we were gonna be able to get there. I thought we were gonna be able to be like, okay, cool, we're gonna break the streak. We're not gonna have any kind of Twitch drama. But nope. Right at the last minute, man, they clutched up. They came in and decided to drop the old bomb on us that you guys can get banned for doing things not on Twitch. As far as like what they deem against, I don't want to say their TOS, but like it basically, if they feel like it's threatening, if they feel like it is harmful or something like that, they can ban you. They can just outright just ban you on their platform.
Can I just derail for just a second?
Yeah, of course.
Oh boy. Here we go.
That looked pretty cool. Literally, Bill like lifted his G Fuel canister and gave it over to the right, and as soon as he did that, Scruffy took a sip out of his cup.
It won't look like that on the podcast, but that's funny.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, there's one derail for the night. We're gonna try to keep it under 5.
Yeah, that's not possible.
Can we talk about all these movies that are coming out? You know?
I did go see Godzilla versus Kong.
How was that?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Are we already derailing into?
No,
We're already derailing. I'm telling you,
going
we
there?
might need to get in contact with Bay.
Do we need to start talking about my real?
the entire thing?
Well, look, soon, guys. Soon. Fuck it. Might as well go ahead and derail it all the way. I mean, soon. I'm just gonna turn this into a real estate podcast because if you guys haven't heard, and if you haven't seen, and I guess I probably should have said this, but I didn't. I don't know if as long as you guys don't mind. But over the last week, I've not streamed on my regular basis. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter or other socials, I put out there, but I am getting my real estate license, so I'm super excited about that. But because of that, I've had to take a little bit of time off from streaming. Trust me, I miss it. I miss the hell out of it. Especially right in the middle of my Outriders play and Doom kind of play. But we'll be back. We'll be back soon, hot and heavy, kind of jumping into it as soon as that gets done. But I'm gonna start selling real estate through the podcast. So you guys want to buy a house in South Carolina, you know who to hit up.
Sweet.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Streaming
Can you tell me a
house,
house on Final Fantasy?
Yeah, sure, absolutely, man. Whatever. As long as it gives me the commish, I don't care. Anyway, Twitch drama. They are banning you on things that you can do and say outside of the platform. And actually, you know, a lot of so at first when I saw this, I was like, all right, well, no big deal. They're probably not going to go through with it. Not a big, you know, I wasn't expecting too much of a you know, backlash, I guess. But then I started seeing people that I follow that are smaller. You know, these aren't these big guys, but also some of the larger guys getting notices of, hey, this has been banned. You know, or you are being warned, like this kind of content will not be allowed. And it was nothing that you know, a lot of stuff was some of it was political, which I have a problem with. You know, in general,
so do
I don't think that you should be. So to keep it as even keel as possible, what I can say is the ones that I saw were people that were on the right side of things, the far right being banned. And then people on the left, the far left, were basically saying, "Am I next to kind of get this ban as well?" And sure enough, one of them is a very far left leaning content
That's
creator.
surprising.
Ended up getting a warning notice as well. But it's been stuff that has been from comments that they've made, whether they're sexual in nature. I have seen stuff where it has been things talking about not violence, but it wasn't like violence in the way of like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this person or whatever. It was mainly just like the kind of joking banter that goes around with like, I'm gonna beat your ass, blah blah blah, like that stuff. They've got warnings for. So I don't know, man. This is
Now, this is nothing new. What's like let's be
I
real.
was
They've
gonna say
had
the same thing.
they've had this in place for a long time. They've just it's just like Twitch on a day by day basis, right? Whether they actually enforce their rule set or not are two different things, right? And I think they're probably just getting in trouble for not enforcing some of these rules. So
Yeah,
they're
it wasn't
making
in
a
their
show of it.
TOS, so people were raising a stink like, "Hey, you can't ban me for this." Well, now we can. They've been doing it. They've been doing it ever since like the
A couple of years ago.
yeah, a couple years ago, and they really started doing it heavy again during Me 2.0.
Yeah.
Did they is this coming off the heels of the whole hot tub bullshit that's going on right now?
No.
I
I
think
don't
there's
think
no
so.
relation.
Yeah, I don't think there
Yeah.
is.
And if you guys aren't
Nah,
familiar with what we're talking, well, go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
Oh no.
I'd say if you guys chat aren't familiar with kind of what we're talking about, you know, there's this new upswing in the just chatting section, which is this hot tub kind of stream. This again also too had been around. You know, people were streaming in their hot tub. But it's now becoming like this big thing where even people are like bringing inflatable hot tubs into their house and streaming
Oh,
in their house.
Hey, by the way, just as an update, next podcast, hot tub podcast.
Yeah, I'm down.
Oh yeah,
I'm
we
done.
all
Dude,
got the inflatable hot tub in the room.
If I could afford a hot tub, I would 100% be doing it. Not even gonna lie to you guys.
I'm down. Let's do it. Why not?
I'm about to
Let's hear it.
break into the Holiday Inn down the road and jump in their fucking jacuzzi. Set
I'm
up
just
a
gonna
laptop,
go and
let's
get
go.
I'm just gonna go and get one of those kiddie pools and then boil some water.
Oh god. Jeez.
Are you guys losing me, by the
Redneck
way?
hot
My
tub.
internet is.
You're stuttering, but I can hear you. Find your visuals just kind of stuttering.
Yeah, I don't know.
You sound fine to me though. It's weird.
All right,
Yes,
you
it's
sound
back.
fine.
It's back to normal now. I don't know. I just saw OBS deciding it was gonna take a shit, so I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, so the hot tub thing is now like this weird thing, and I found it hilarious because I saw American Dad, who I follow religiously, and I think he's hilarious. He ended up actually getting a hot tub and getting a bikini and streaming in a bikini in a hot tub.
Wow, that's awesome.
Which I thought was fucking just crazy funny.
I
So.
really don't see like anything too wrong with it. I don't care. Like Twitch already has gone down this path. Like just bringing a hot tub into the scene really doesn't do much different than what we've seen on Twitch in the past. So
Yeah.
I think it's whatever.
Yeah.
People that are going to IRL for hot tub streams aren't. Yeah, it's its own niche of things. It's not exactly robbing anybody of views, which the big boob streamers aren't robbing anybody of views either, in my opinion.
Like I've seen it.
It just further creates the need for there to be a divide in the the like just chatting section.
Yeah, I've seen it before. It's your viewers. They are just gathering their own viewers.
I also kind of see it as like, you remember that era of YouTube where people would just get on and like be like, yeah, these sneakers $5,000. This coat, $25,000. I feel
Yeah.
like it's kind of like
You're
a
talking about that
flex.
era, it's still that way on YouTube.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a little bit of a flex meta. Like, yeah, I can
Yeah.
afford a hot tub. My hot tub's bigger than the guy down the registry's hot tub, so you
I
should
seen
watch
some
me in
girl
my
in
hot tub.
a hot tub in a boat. It was a boat hot tub. That was pretty crazy.
So it was a
I
boat
never seen
tub?
one of those. Yeah, it was a boat tub. But then she dropped her camera into the water and the stream went offline. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
hilarious.
Poetic justice.
I will say that I don't know. Here's the thing that I think I don't care. Like the whole idea that like these people are going to steal your viewers, I think is a load of shit.
Yeah.
Because none of those viewers are coming to view my fucking fat ass sit here and play a video game.
Maybe
and
if you got in a hot
think-
tub.
yeah, I mean, maybe.
I think my biggest issue that I have with it, I'm on the same train as you guys, where I don't think that it's stealing viewership from gamers or anything like that. My biggest issue with it is that Twitch is a live streaming site for gaming content.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, like,
Take that shit someplace else, or Twitch needs to fucking make a 18 plus fucking version.
I hate that I've gotten almost numb to it because like
So
I've
have I.
always been in the mindset that yeah, it should just be for gaming, but it's been so much over the years, like it's been here for so long that people have been doing stuff like this that I'm just like numb to it. I'm like, you know what, whatever. Like I'm tired of complaining that it's just a gaming
Well,
site.
the reason why they moved from Twitch from Justin TV to Twitch was to get rid of that content. They wanted to
Justin TV was
focus.
Justin TV was terrible.
Yeah, they wanted to micro focus
Terrible.
on gaming content. That's the only reason why it kind of upsets me the most, is because when they moved from Justin.tv to Twitch, their reasoning was, we want to be a gaming content site.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it was.
And now
I wish it was like
we're
that.
just going back to Justin TV, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
It's
oh well,
'cause it
then why the
makes that
fuck did you
money,
move?
man.
I know. I was gonna say it's because Twitch sees
It
the
is,
money
yeah.
in it. Yeah, exactly.
100%.
It
Like,
sucks that they
I-
went
I-
against their
Well,
own.
here's my
rules.
thing about it.
Why?
I don't care that I don't even care if it's non-gaming. Like I don't give a shit that it's
I think at this point,
non-gaming related.
Twitch is just a live streaming site. I don't
Right.
even think
I-
you can
I
like
think
sync it to gaming specifically.
My problem
anymore.
is
I mean, not
that
anymore.
content is specifically targeted. Like, okay, so this is where it pisses me off, right? This is where I go beyond like the whole thing of like that you're not trying to steal my viewers, because first off, you can't steal my viewers. I'm not even on the platform, but like the whole thing behind it is I don't give a fuck that you're saying you're stealing my viewers. That's not true. They're not stealing your viewers, but the double-edged sword, the hypocritical bullshit of like, hey, you know that you're selling this, right? And if you are treated in such a way that you are selling that type of behavior and you get pissed off about it, I'm sorry, you have no platform to stand on. Like, you are purposely selling this type of goods, right? If you are in that industry, you have to understand that people are going to treat you as such. Does it mean that it's right to be treated as such? No, but you can't get pissed off when people treat you that way. Also, you can't get pissed off when your entire Twitter feed or your entire, Instagram feed or whatever else is nothing but a thirst trap. And then when someone DMs you something that is in line with that, you get all high and mighty and pissed off, whether you're a guy or a girl. That's the same thing. Like, if you curate an entire stream that is based on nothing but toxicity and someone is toxic to you, you don't have a right. You have no right anymore to stand up and say, stop being toxic to me. No, you curated that. Like, that's the behavior that you allowed to be there in your stream or whatever else. And it's not like, that's where, to me, I get pissed off. It's this like, I want to have my cake and I want to eat it too, right? I want to act like this, but I don't want to be treated like this. Well, that's not how this works, right? You especially when you're talking about something like that you put out there. So for Twitch, for me, it's like, be a live streaming service. Take that shit, like Enigma said, take that shit and put it onto an 18 plus only somewhere else, because and a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's not 18 plus. It is a very, very, very thin line, man. Like, we're talking a
100%,
very fucking
yeah.
thin line where you're talking about just because
you're one fucking nip slip away from corn.
Yeah.
As Twitter would, or as YouTube would like me to call it.
right.
That's nice saying.
Like, so that whole thing is, and we've said it before, is move that to an 18 plus only site, or section or whatever else. Like,
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it's the worst part
I
of
got no issue with them having it on the site. I just wish that it was one of those things where it was like they finally just admitted, yeah, we have it on the site because it makes us lots of money. We're just gonna put it behind an 18 plus,
like, yeah, like my thing is that I
or
can't
an 18 plus fucking section of the website that you have to go to specifically.
like for the sad thing is like for just going through the just chatting section, right? Like that's what that is, man. Like I tell my kids, like, if you're gonna be, because one of my kids now is 13, so I told him, when you're 13 years old, you're able to go on Twitch. Like, that's fine, you can go on Twitch. I am okay with that, right? But I tell him, do not go into the just chatting section. Like, that is not a section you need to be in.
Because you go in there, even if you want to watch somebody who's actually just chatting, and the thumbnails are bad enough.
Right.
Like, all you see the floods of thumbnails of that kind of content. They're
Right.
everywhere.
You know, so it's, yeah.
I still feel everybody should be respected no matter what kind of content they're putting out there. I don't think there's any room for.
No one's saying that you can't respect it, but let me ask you a question. Let's just put some hypotheticals out there, right? You sell whiskey all fucking day long, right? That's all you do is sell whiskey. At your job, you sell whiskey, 24/7. When you come home, right? If your neighbor comes up to you and says, "Hey, how about some whiskey?" and you get pissed off about it because all you've heard all day is whiskey, 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 whiskey. And now your neighbor's coming up and being like, whiskey. And you're like, bro, seriously, I deal with this shit all fucking day long. And now you're fucking coming at me about whiskey? Like, fuck off, right? Do you have a right to be pissed off about that person coming up to you and asking about whiskey?
I don't feel like it's comparable just because well, hear me out. In a content creation spectrum, I feel like viewers have a sense of entitlement more so than a lot of other industries and such. And I feel like that is an undeserved sense of entitlement on basically like almost ownership over their content creator. It's stan culture basically. But with that kind of content, it goes like to a like sexual harassment level. Yes, they could be flaunting, they could be doing this other stuff, but that still doesn't justify them getting sent horrid things in their DMs.
I'm not saying that they are I'm saying that it's okay for people to send, horrid pics or bad things in their DM. What I'm saying is that if you have created this persona, right, that this is what people see, you have to understand that is also too what is going to come around, right? That you are going, like, it's not like you're opening the door up and just saying, hey, I only want the moral, upstanding citizens.
Yeah, but to say you don't have any room to bitch or complain about it, I feel like
it is the fact that these people bitch and complain about every little individual thing that is said.
I think there's a level of which is okay to bitch and complain about. There is definitely minor stuff that happens, but I think in a lot of cases with those kinds of streamers, there is some heavy stuff that they go through that no one should go through.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that they should.
Yeah,
that's not. I'm not
But
saying.
No, I know.
If you're complaining about like, say you're a female and you're doing this kind of content and you complain that, oh, I've gotten 50 messages from guys saying hi or whatever, that's over complaining. Just because you're getting male attention or even female attention, if that's what you're into, that I understand.
That's the minor side of things.
There is a realm where you have a right to complain because it becomes sexual harassment after a certain point. Even if you are doing lewd stuff or hot tub stuff or whatever, it's at the end of the day, there should be that disconnect, and people need to respect that.
Well, yeah, but and trust me, I've seen it when I go to TwitchCon, right? I've gone to TwitchCon numerous times now and seen it's not just these types of streamers, right? It is also too, it is the fact that there's a very thin line between you and the streamer, right? There's literally only a screen. That's it, right? And the thought is that, oh, because I see you on screen and I engage with you every time and I'm donating money and I'm simping for you or not simping for you or whatever it may be, right? But I am basically engaging with you on a one-on-one basis, that when I see you out in public, that, oh, it should be turned on or whatever else. Movie stars go through the same thing, whatever else. But the other side of it that I am saying is that there is if you are asking that of your fan base and respect and responsibility or whatever else, I am also saying, hey, you need to understand the consequences of putting this stuff out there, that you are attracting certain type of people, right? You are attracting people that are literally going to be there for that and that alone, whether it's toxicity, whether it is, and a great example is this was Ninja, right? Like Ninja, all he promoted all of this kid friendly, when we all knew he was not a kid friendly streamer. He is not that type of person, whatever. But that's what he promoted, and that was the image that he received. And then when he went way toxic, everyone was like, "Oh my god, like how? Why Ninja? Why?" And it's like, bro, that's who he was. Like you can't get pissed off whenever your numbers drop or your things like or whatever, like because that's what you put out there. So that's the whole thing. It's just it's accepting the responsibilities of what you put, the content that you put out there is also the content that you are going to attract and the people that you're going to attract. So that's all I'm saying. Like that's my whole thing. I'm not giving freedom to people to say, hey, be a dick. Like that's not what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel I misunderstood what you were saying.
No.
I get what you're saying. I think the point that me and Bill were trying to make is valid too, though. But I mean,
no, I'm not. It is like 100%.
Yeah.
No, nobody should have to be subjected to. Look,
I was about to say you guys are literally talking in circles,
Yeah.
saying the same exact
Yeah,
fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
nobody needs to be subjected
this is
to
all
male.
this is all a
slog.
tangent away anyway from
Yeah.
the original topic, which
I don't think the hot tub streams affect the fact that.
listen, they're not stealing our
Well,
viewers.
I guess here's the question again, to circle it back. So here's the thing: do you see Twitch starting to ban people that are doing OnlyFans? Because that is something that is against their TOS, that is considered lewd behavior. And now that they are doing, or Patreon, right? There's plenty of people that sell this.
That's a good question, because a lot of them actually promote that in
like
their bios.
Well, you
and in their
can't
descriptions.
promote OnlyFans. You can promote Patreon.
Yeah, that's
You
what I was
can't
about to say.
promote
The thing is,
OnlyFans.
like they've already. Got
I've
that
seen
on the
people. I
side.
mean,
And
maybe
I know what you're talking about too, because I have seen plenty of streamers that are promoting their OnlyFans.
yeah,
on
I've
Twitch.
seen it in like those multi-link,
the link trees.
the link trees or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. Maybe that's a way that they're trying to get around it, and they're still breaking TOS. But either way, they're promoting their OnlyFans in a way.
I mean, it's a very high possibility. I mean, if Twitch
Yeah.
is Twitch is going down this route, and the thing that I'm most surprised about is that they're banning people on both sides of the spectrum, because that doesn't usually happen, right?
No, it
They-
doesn't.
it's usually one side or the other, and it's
Yeah.
usually not the one side that's being banned.
No, it's usually the right. I mean, usually the
It's
right.
usually the right, yeah.
is what is getting banned. Side of things. So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't believe they should be banning people for advertising. Like, from what I read in the TOS update, the OnlyFans stuff should not.
It's sexual
be-
content.
It is, but there's nothing prohibiting sexual offsite conduct in that line.
I will go and find the line.
Okay.
I'm
What?
pretty sure it
I don't
said
know.
in explicit and or where was it? Sexually exploiting children, such as child grooming, actions with okay, maybe it doesn't.
To be fair, and I don't really know like what the line is with it, but like there are professional pornographers that do stream on
Pornographer. I love it.
on Twitch. It has happened.
Yeah,
so.
I for some reason I thought at some point it said something about sexual content, but it's like sexual content of exploiting and or activities of sexual assault.
Yeah, they were in that regard. I do remember, like, there's a lot of gray area in that TOS update, but I
Really
do
huge
remember
gray
the
area.
in the
That's not
sexual
shocking.
conduct section. It was very specific. It was for cheese pizza. It was for, like you said, sexual hate and stuff like that. Like anything along those lines. But if they do start banning people because they're advertising OnlyFans, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a major problem, because like I'm seeing right now, it's not that much different from banning people for advertising YouTube. It's still a competitor technically. The only difference is one's an 18+, one's not.
Well, to be honest, I don't think Twitch should have the right to ban anybody for content that's not produced on outside of their platform. I mean, that's
Same here.
that's
Yeah,
that's a form of
from-
censorship that I don't agree with. Period. I don't think any platform
yeah.
should do that. I don't give a fuck
from
who
the,
it
from
is.
the minute that they introduced this bullshit I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago, when they first kind of started dabbling in the whole you can be banned for offside content. I was like,
Yeah.
that makes no fucking sense to me. So if
Yeah.
I say something on a completely different platform, on to a completely different user base that has nothing to do with you, Twitch, I can get banned on Twitch because you feel that what I've said
Is you Twitch a combination of YouTube and Twitch together? Is that
Yeah.
that's a new
Yeah,
platform?
yeah,
You
yeah.
Twitch.
Yeah.
You
Now
Twitch.
there was only there was like only one or two topics that they had listed that was and we talked about this and that actually seemed deemable of being banned, and that was the stuff to do with minors and abuse.
Yeah,
I
100%.
that stuff, yeah, like if I were to see that on Twitter and I know they're a streamer, I would be like, I wouldn't want to watch them. I wouldn't want my kids to watch them.
100%.
So that stuff I get.
With
you
that
know?
whole YouTube movement that happened on Twitch a while ago with the where a bunch of like the higher tier streamers and a bunch of like big name streamers got banned for grooming underage girls.
Mhm.
I had one dude that I watched pretty regularly, and I'd been supporting him for years and years and years. Obviously, I'm not going to say the name because
Yeah.
I don't really want to even fucking mention him anymore. But
Yeah.
I put a lot of money into his stream, and he fucking pulled that shit. I got rid of him like that, dude. I was done. Fuck that shit, dude.
Well, yeah.
Dude
I
needs to
think
be
it's a
beat to within an inch of his life.
I
Allegedly.
think it's a slippery slope doing the offsite stuff, because on one hand, from a business perspective and from like a Twitch community perspective, I can get it, because if people are doing like one persona on the site and it's funneling people to their other stuff on like Twitter or their discords and whatnot, and there's some heinous shit going on there, that I can understand for, hey, ban them, get them the fuck out of here. But it depends on how pick and choosy they're going to be and how much that gray area is actually going to affect. Like you said, Sin, if they're going to go for a political spectrum on these bans, whether it be right or left, that's a problem. If they're going to go and take stuff out of context that is obviously being said in a joking manner, like, oh, I'm going to beat your ass when I see you or something like that, but it's like between two people that like have had interactions positively, like two creators, for instance, because I right off the top of my head, I'm just thinking back to like Dr. Disrespect and Tim the Tatman going back and forth on Twitter and stuff.
That's just friendly banter. That's just like two buds just joking around with each other. That shouldn't be taken seriously.
I think they need to use this extremely liberally and very, very cautiously. It could very easily go and landslide into a point where they're overdoing it, and
I mean, the reality,
that's the worst case scenario.
The reality is that all of these platforms, right, have the right to ban you for anything. They can ban you for whatever reason they want. It's their platform, their service, right? They don't have to allow you access to that. You're not, paying for access or anything of that nature, right? It's a free service to stream and upload to their platforms. The issue that I have, and we saw this spike during the election, we saw this spike, during again the Me Too movement, all of that kind of stuff, is that it become when these platforms start to police to become basically policing things, right? Where they're basically going, no, you don't, and they're wagging their finger at you and saying, this is how you need to act, this is how you need to be, and being morality police. Again, I'm not saying that they're wrong, right? I'm not saying that their stance is necessarily wrong, whether it's right, left, whether it's, all of the stuff that was happening during the Me Too movement or whatever. I get it, right? But they are not judge, jury, and executioner when it's stuff that is not on their site, right? Or whatever else. When we saw people being banned on Twitter just because of, what was being said, right? Even to the highest office of the land, regardless of how you feel, like the fact that there's someone, like people are being banned for just saying that kind of stuff. Like we talked about Disney, we talked about all of it, right? It's a very, very, like I said, it's a slippery slope. It's fucking dangerous, and it should, I don't know. In my mind, should not be in a place where you ban what happens on Twitch. You got enough problems to worry about. You got people showing their fucking hoo-ha all the way, till Christmas, like on Twitch. You got people throwing cats, and all that kind of stuff. Like, you got more stuff to worry about on your own platform. Let's not worry about what's going on other people's platforms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I do think another thing that I've seen in regards to this is people are concerned that communities are going to communities are going to become weaponized, basically, where if some creator has a disagreement with somebody that has a big enough audience, that the cancel mob is going to mass report this person for this and get them.
I mean, it's already happening. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, cancel culture fucking terrible.
It's so prevalent right now. It's so dumb.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, people are concerned it's going to be even worse with this thing. And the
Well,
thing
it will.
because I posted on Twitter about it the other day, is that people getting worked up about this specifically haven't been looking at the past 2 to 5 years where they've been doing this stuff already. This is not news. They've just put it in the TOS.
right.
And it's all going to be about how they enforce it moving forward that determines whether this is a good play or a bad play. I do think it has potential of being a good play. That way we're not having more issues like the child grooming stuff that happened last year and stuff like that, where Twitch staff, big partnered streamers, like I feel like this could
Well, nothing's gonna change because those didn't get found out, and when they did get found out, it was immediate bans. Nothing's gonna change. They're still gonna be doing the exact the same thing that they were already doing.
right.
Yeah.
It's just nobody came forward until that point.
True. Okay.
So
Yeah.
the longer that I guess the moral of that story is if you're under those types of situation, come forward. Don't wait for years. You know.
Yeah. Which there's a long conversation that could be had about that, but that's not something we're going to get into on this show.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is no. I don't think that they will be taking streamers or hot tub streamers will not be taking your viewers away.
Yep. That's the point to be made here.
Yeah. Oh. Well, cool. So that was it. That's kind of the Twitch drama. It's kind of all circles around the same bullshit. That's always.
I'm
going
sure
on
there'll be
with
more
Twitch.
stemming from
Yeah.
this specifically
course
in the
there
coming
will be.
week.
Yeah,
or two.
we'll keep an eye on this one and see how
Yeah.
they actually start enforcing it.
So
Yeah.
just be mindful what you're saying out there, streamers. Don't be saying a bunch of weird shit on Twitter
If I get banned, you know.
or TikTok.
That's fun.
It's some dude. Look, my company has now had it where we're starting to having to watch TikTok and like having to recruit TikTok content. There's some real weird shit on TikTok, man.
There
TikTok
is,
is
though.
a
Dude, there's
fucking
some wild shit on
weird. And what's
TikTok.
crazy is that was Musically. Like that came
That was
from
Musical.ly.
Musically. Like
I mean, there's weird shit on Musically too.
yeah, but this is like some really weird stuff, man. I looked at it like I don't understand.
And
You-
the audio,
and
anyways.
you talk about thirst trap. Holy fuck,
Yeah.
dude. That's yeah. Anyway, all right. So moving on to what we've been playing. Yeah, I can jump in with Outriders. I've been playing Outriders.
I've been watching Outriders.
yeah.
Yeah, you haven't got too much time in that though, have you? Like
Uh,
10 or so hours maybe.
yeah. I mean, I've gotten
I think like 8.
I've gotten
roughly.
two streams in, and a couple of other like minor things on there. Like played a couple hours played, but past my 2 streams. But I mean, I've watched a decent amount of it. And so okay, where do I begin?
There we go.
Let me first. So I started off by saying this because I do think it's important to say. I was given a free copy of the game, right? It was not by the developer. It was not by anything. I had a buddy of mine that had a copy, an extra key. He gave me a key. I just want to put that out there, right? So I am going to start this by saying I am really at my fucking wit's end and really fucking done with the whole goddamn industry as a whole, releasing games that are fucking busted, that are fucking broken, that are pieces of shit, that are dumpster fires, whether it's to the level of what happened with Cyberpunk, whether it's the level of Outriders, whether it's the level of fucking Warcraft 3 Reforged, whether it's whatever, these games that come out that just think that shit can be fucking busted and that people can pay full price for this. No other place in the world, in any industry in the world, are you okay? Is it okay to sell crap shit product at full price and everybody be like, it's okay, it's all right, it's okay, all right, we'll fix it. We'll fix it
Can
later.
you imagine Elon selling Teslas with
Yeah,
firmware issues?
it's-
Like, yeah, it'll run you through the guardrail into a ditch, but we're gonna patch it in 3 to 6
Yeah,
months.
it's like
Right.
Wait. Didn't Elon sell some Teslas with faulty firmware?
yeah, but no,
He-
there was
I
one
think
that-
car.
There was
There was
I'm pretty
one,
sure he did.
There,
I think there's one car. Tesla is known for like they've only, I think, legitimately in their entire existence of making vehicles have had all of a total of 5 accidents where it has been a malfunction of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Whatever, which is insane considering how many
Glitch in the
systems
system.
there. But anyway, like I just want to say that, right? Like it's fucking annoying, man. Like I can't imagine going to like sit down at a restaurant and be like, hey, I want to order a steak, right? And they're like, Okay. And they bring you a fucking cow. And they're like, here you go. And it's like, no, I ordered a steak. Well, we'll fix it later, but you can have this one. Like this one's kind of done. It's early access steak. It's you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, man? I don't know. It really, and we're gonna talk about it again. I'm gonna mention this again later on down the line when we bring up another product, or topic. But it really fucking pisses me off. With that being said, Outriders, it's fun. I don't think the demo did a good enough job of explaining like the loot grind to the game and like the customization to the game.
The demo was the work. Like, I don't know how people actually like. I think the demo did more damage for the game
absolutely.
than what the game actually deserved. Like, I made a scathing video on the demo, and the game that released is not nearly as bad as what that demo showcased.
Yeah,
and it's actually kind of flipped the script. Like, the console version of the game is the better version of the game now, and the PC one's a piece of shit. Yeah.
Dude,
so
I think people who played the demo are the ones who really like canceled their pre-orders, didn't get the game, and the people who didn't play the demo probably ended up getting the game still because they didn't see what it was like.
So the game, it's still like, I didn't have any issues with the game on demo. I have issues with the game on PC. I have like a really bad like pitching issue with the game.
The stutter issue is a common thing, I guess. For whatever reason, from all the research I've done, because I've done tons of research in case I wanted to follow up on the topic eventually. It's an issue with the GeForce experience specifically. If you have that installed, the game does not play well with that. And if
I don't have it
installed. Anything above 1080p, the game doesn't like to play well with that either.
So I have gotten around it. What's crazy is that the way to get around it is actually turning off DLSS, which you would think you would turn DLSS on because that makes the game function better and use like RTX to its fullest capability, but you turn it off and I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I've gotten it to where it plays and it functions fine. It's still graphically that game looks like a fucking game from the 360 era. Like, I look at that game and see a game from like 360 early Xbox One era. Like, and I explained this numerous times on like the first playthrough that I did or first stream. So when you take and I'm gonna give you guys quick, when you have a rock, right? You have landscaping. If you look at a rock and you want to add texture to it, the way that the programmers do is they program a rock, right? They program the actual outline of how the rock is going to do. And then what they start to do is they layer every side of the rock, right? And then they take it and they'll layer something on top of it and smooth it out.
Yeah. And then they bump map it.
Right. They do bump mapping. They give it like some kind of feel, right? Mm-hmm. Everything in Outriders is basically like they did the outline of the architecture of the of whatever, and then they just took a piece of paper that was their terrain and went, and wherever it fucking folded at the edge, they were just like, all right, super glue that bitch down, duct tape it on this side, it looks fine. Because
it's like a photorealistic texture pack in Minecraft.
It looks like shit. There's nothing, like, you go up to a rock which should have like bumps and like this, it's as smooth as a fucking baby's ass, man. It's crazy. Like, it's fucking nuts. And graphically, it looks like, honestly, nothing has loaded. Like, it's like you're waiting for textures to load, and they're like, oh wait, no, these are the textures. They loaded 100%, but they just look like shit. So if I take looks out of the equation and I just talk about like the actual fundamental gameplay, it is, what's fun about the game is they put you into a kill room and you basically get to just kill. Like, you use all these different powers, different guns or whatever else, and kill. And that's fun. It's fun to do that, right? What keeps you going on the hamster wheel is the actual builds and the guns that you can get. Surprisingly, I was actually a very big critic of this during the demo because they didn't show us any of this. We didn't see what builds actually could look like. We didn't see what guns could actually look like. But I can tell you right now, it surprisingly is one of the best looter shooter gun like playing mechanics as far as like being able to put stuff in places and builds that I've played in a while, where I can actually go and I can, like, if I dismantle something, I can take a mod over here, pop it into this gun, change this gun, upgrade this gun, do whatever else. I don't have 7,000 different fucking currencies that I have to worry about like I do in Avengers. it's
There
not
was
bad.
none of that in the demo.
Right.
At
No,
all.
none of that exists. But like,
Yeah.
you can go take a gun, and then you can be like, okay, cool. I'm building this way, and so then I want to go and I want to take this mod and I want to put it into this gun, and I'm going to mod that, and then I want to upgrade the gun again to another level so I can get another mod slot so I can put this one in, right? And then I want to upgrade the quality, or I want to change like the benefits of it. I want to change like all of these different elements that you never saw in the demo, like never, right? So it honestly, that element of it is a lot of fun, and that adds for a lot of build variety. And they made it too to where like you can just basically take all your points and say fuck it, and I want to restart, and like I want to rebuild my character however I want. Storyline sucks unless you're doing some of the side missions. Some of the side missions are fucking great. Like there was one side mission that I did, spoiler real quick. It's where you basically go and talk to this dude, and he goes down this whole line of like his family and his little girls and why they're dead. And it's just like, you're listening to the storyline and you're like, oh my God, like this is fucking terrible. Right. Like, but there's no gameplay element to it. You're just listening to the story. But then you go to the main storyline and it's like, let's go kill some bad guys. It's like, what the fuck, man? What, like, no, let me go over here and talk to this dude, because at least he has some kind of like moral dilemma. You're just wanting to shoot shit. Like, so I don't know. Again, is it worth $60? That's a real hard that's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. Like,
it's a hard no. Is what
I was
it
gonna
is.
say a hard no.
It's $40 max is what I would charge for that.
I would
game.
pay
I would
30.
be more liable to say 35 to 30.
yeah,
From what they have right now. One thing I do want to kind of piggyback on is the mod system is probably the best feature of that game, but I'm still having trouble seeing very much meaningful change, because everything I'm seeing is either your bullets do an elemental effect, or you have an extra charge of X ability or Y ability.
No. So I will say that like I have seen a lot of different builds, or like I have played around with different builds, like whether I'm turning someone into ash, right? Whether I'm freezing a person, where I've gone in and I've done like a cyclone build where it will reduce my cooldown. I've gone in and changed it to where I will be able to pump out double amount of ammo, double amount of ammo. I've gone for a crit build. I've done and this is just in the small amount of time that I've actually been able to put hands on it, right?
Right.
I
I'm glad to hear
personally-
there's a lot of variety.
Like
Yeah.
I personally haven't seen that much of a variety of fucking builds. Honestly.
so-
like the builds that I've seen in specifically have been a fire like LMG build and an ice SMG build. Those are the only two that I've ever seen with the end game when it comes to like people being viable at end game so far. But
So
you know,
I'm
that's
wondering
just what I've seen
if
on
that's
Twitch.
min maxing. I'm wondering if that's people that are.
I'm sure it is,
you know,
but
Probably.
that's what I'm saying is like so far I've watched like 10 maybe 15 streams of like varying degrees of like where they're at in the end game, and literally it's the same copy paste fucking
Yeah.
It's like
Crit
2 or 3
build.
viable
Yeah.
builds, and they're all like the next patch is already gonna ruin the game. honestly.
Now there's
What
no
is
like
the- what's
PvP.
this
The
next
end game
patch?
is
No,
all
there's no-
PvE, right?
It's all
I
PvE.
don't think
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
PvP in
I
this
mean,
game.
then
They're
min maxing or not, like I'm sure there's a lot of viable builds. It's just how effective they are. There's probably only a couple really, really effective
well,
ones. To
the
clear.
issue with what you're saying, Scruff, is the end game is based around time trialing things.
Oh, is it? So like getting
Yeah,
through
so
it
you're
fast as
not
you
gonna
can.
you're not gonna get the best loot if you're not doing it fast, which is incentivizing these 1, 2, or 3.
That's something I didn't
max
know.
level.
I was
So
thinking it was just
the way-
clear.
Yeah, so the way the end game works is it has a rotation of expeditions, is what they're called,
Mhm.
which are not so dissimilar to the story stuff. You run through a hallway, you enter a kill room, you kill stuff in the kill room, you run through a hallway, you enter a kill room, you kill stuff in that kill room, you run through another hallway, there's a boss encounter.
Gotcha.
And your loot rarity and the amount of loot you get is all based on how fast you're able to clear through that expedition.
Okay. Well, then yeah, I guess that changes things. I didn't know that.
Well, that's the same way that, if I'm not mistaken, I think PoE, when they do
PoE
like their
does it in
mapping,
Diablo 3.
yeah, they do like their
end
mapping
games are all
or
based
whatever
that
else.
way.
So it's
Then
not.
I mean, in that case, min maxing is probably like a lot of people's paths to do.
Well,
that sort of
I
stuff.
think it comes down to right. And okay, it comes down to a lot of things. One, that is a thing that has been in like we've said, Diablo 3. I don't know if Diablo 2 had it. I don't think they had time. Like it wasn't a time based thing, but like mapping system, like the PoE does it. A lot of these like loot based games do that. And I think that it goes back to your play style, right? Like, is your play style wanting to build and to min max? If it is, well, then go for it. But you're gonna limit yourself in your build variety, right? Or is it gonna be something where you can go and be like me and be like, I want to tinker with builds. I want to do different shit. I want to do this one, see how it goes. And I don't care if I'm not getting the best loot, but if I'm having a good time, great. Here's where the whole thing comes down to, right? And I will tell you right now, and because I wanted to be to end game before this, but life took a turn and we haven't been able to get to end game yet.
It's a good turn.
It is a question of whether or not this game is going to be a live service game. We have heard conflicting things. At one end, they say, yes, it is. We're going to do a live service. Then at the other turn, they say, no, it's not. It's a game. It's a launch game. When it's done, right? But everything looks like, and everything is being sold as a live service kind of experience, right? So if it's not a live service game, then this game has no merit being $60. This game has no merit being $40. This game has merit of being maybe 30 at max. Like, that's where it comes down to. You know what I mean? So like, if it's not a live service and there's not they're going to continue to pump out content for it. And I'm interested, you said that the patch is going to ruin this. What is going on in the patch?
So I guess there was an exploit with Historian, Bounty Hunt, and Monster Hunt quests in the end game where people were getting multiple legendaries from subsequent completions. They are removing that so that you will not be able to get a legendary for each subsequent completion of those 3 endgame tasks. They are adjusting loot pools for looks like 4 of the endgame bosses. I don't know what these guys are, but they're reducing their loot pools. They're actually reducing the timers for the speed runs in the end game for Chemplant Expedition and Boomtown Expedition. They're actually like making it so you have to do it faster to get end game, like the top tier loot.
I'm not a fan of that.
Then they're changing a bunch of like they don't the game devs apparently hate the that bullets like buff skills are meta. So they were reducing like every single one of the bullet buff abilities, the fire, the ice, the poison, all of that stuff is getting reduced across the board from 175% to 165%. Crit builds are going down from 175% to 165%. The crit damage multiplier on marksman rifles is going down from 300 to 250. They're just reducing damage out, so increasing requirements for endgame actions.
I don't have a problem with that. Honestly, I mean, if they're looking at data and they're just like, look, I don't like how this feels. I think that this is a problem. Like, to me, that states at least, look, it means that to me that at least they're looking at their game more than what fucking Crystal Dynamics and they did with Marvel Avengers. They're going, oh, you know what? This shit doesn't feel as good or what we want it to be. We need to tweak it. There's too much of this. We need to tweak it. Right. That's I don't know, positive in my opinion. And also I can imagine these kill rooms, man. Like if you get 3 people in a room that are like fucking doing these powers and shit, you could burn through some of these rooms pretty fucking quick. Like, I know that you're saying you don't like that idea, Scruff, but
well, I mean, I don't like that. That's the only way to get this end gear loot. I think they.
Well, it still has a chance of dropping. I think that's just saying like if you want like more gear. Again, I don't know. I haven't been there, but if
you're playing for fun, Scruff, or if you're playing by yourself, you have to work twice as hard to get the same loot that the tryhards are doing, playing in their 3 stacks. So
I think because like exactly like I'd play this game more casually.
Yeah, but what's the difference between that
for
and
these
other?
like really fast runs, min maxing and all that?
But like for instance, Final Fantasy does the same thing, right? You just someone that's gonna sit there and grind out the same dungeon over and over and over and over and over and over again and min max that dungeon to be able to get a drop that's a 0.01% drop. They're gonna have a better chance of getting it versus you, who's gonna go in there casually and just run the dungeon every so often. So I mean, it's.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, I'd play it more casually. I'd want a chance to play something casually and also get some decent loot and get some end gear stuff.
Yeah.
But
So,
I see what you're saying too. Like, reward the people who are putting more effort in.
So I don't know. Again, is this worth a $60 buy right now? I have to say no, it's not. Is it a fun game to play? Yes, it is. Is the build variety there? Yes, it is. Like, there's everything points to it being a good game. Graphically, it sucks. Control wise, it's fine. Sound issues are still fucking terrible. I still have issues where people fucking mouth will not move. Like,
So my issue is I don't like how their patch notes are going in general. I just read through the entire patch notes while we were going through this section. There is not a single buff in any of this.
That's what I was going to bring up. Is like the one
not
thing.
a single goddamn buff in any of it. They are nerfing the Trickster's powers as a whole. They are nerfing the Technomancer. They are nerfing damage rounds. They are nerfing crit builds. They did not buff a single thing. If you're gonna do something like this in a power fantasy type game, and Borderlands 3 fucked this up as well, you don't bring the fun or optimal builds down. You should be boosting the sub-optimal builds and giving them buffs so that they are on par. It's a power fantasy type game. You don't.
The thing about it is, right, is that like I completely agree with you, and I was going to bring that up when you said that they were nerfing shit, right? I am of the mindset that instead of nerfing things, you should definitely try your best to buff things. Instead, like just like you said, instead of taking away the fun, it's like Blizzard does this all the time. Fucking fun is found, nerf the shit out of it, right? The biggest thing that I have with this game is like there's no reason for them not to buff shit. It's a PvE game. There's no PvP in sight.
You know
it's
what?
It's not like they're having to. It's not like they're having to buff and or nerf for PvP versus PvE. Like
they're just effectively making it harder for people to play the game. They're elongating the playtime on the game.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Because we all went through Remnant in like 2 days, like a week at most. They weren't expecting people to grind through and play that game nonstop. That game or this game's going to have that same issue. People are going to be playing it, grinding it, and be done with it in no time. They want to elongate it and give it longevity.
And this game has what we wanted from Remnant. This game has like the random weapon rolls and stuff like that. We wanted that kind of stuff in Remnant. Now, to be fair, Remnant was marketed more as a Souls-like than it was a looter shooter. It's all static loot based, just on procedurally generated maps. So you needed to get the roll of getting the right map. But once you got the right map, it was a guaranteed drop. So the longevity aspect
Remnant
of
had
that,
so much potential. Sorry.
I think Remnant 2 is going to be great when it comes out. I really, really do.
I don't know. I don't think so.
That
developer's already taken shit into a bad direction with some other. They it's another discussion, but yeah.
Are you talking about Kronos from the Ashes or Before the Ashes or whatever?
Yeah, they had like they launched another game after. No, they are in the what is the name? They're in the process of launching another game or
Kronos.
some shit. Yeah, or whatever else.
Ashes, yeah.
That basically
we can talk about that later because there's a lot of misinformation about that game. But back to this one.
Yeah.
It's nerfs across the board. They're just artificially elongating their playtime. They've reduced loot drops. They've reduced damage across the board. They've reduced 2 of the specific characters that were the most overpowered. I still think Devastator needs like I from everything I've heard, heard Devastator is like the end game build, but Trickster I can understand because it's high damage. There's not a single buff in any of this. Like you said, they're sucking the fun factor and not replacing
fun found and removed.
It's I don't mind them altering and nerfing. I don't mind nerfs, but what I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Like either nerf stuff by increasing the difficulty, right? Nerf stuff by like buffing the shit out of like maybe your enemies or whatever. But here's what I'll say. What worries me is that the fact that they, like Plague said in our chat, that basically they have stated, no, they're not going, this is not a live service game unless there's a demand for it. That's what that means to me, that you have no plans in place for this and then are going to scramble to try to make content.
There's going to be a demand for it.
Or on the other hand, they have every plan to make it a pay-to-win game, and they just want to fucking test the waters and see how long they can go before they implement it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you would like. Excuse me. Why you would go out and. I don't know, man.
If they don't want to make it a live service game, they're probably banking on people buying DLC for the game that they're probably going to upcharge.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my
I
guess.
just don't know why you would like your first patch of a new game that's already been plagued with server issues, plagued with PC issues, crashes. Why you would see all of this and be like, yeah, let's just nerf everything. Let's just reduce power levels across the board.
Well, again,
If
if
it-
what I'll say is if they're seeing that there is if, and again, I'm not saying that they can, but or they did, but if they are seeing it because the scale is going like this, right, and it's just way too much, and they need to nerf that shit, okay. But I can't say that they are. Like, I'm not. And I'm not far enough into it, right? I don't know, and I don't want to put
But
like
it's a
normally.
PvE game. The only people that they are affecting is the consumer.
Yeah, but it just,
They're wanting to artificially elongate playtime. They're seeing that people are clearing this stuff way too easily, way too quickly. They are reducing damage and loot drops across the board because of that.
One of the guys that I was watching is a longtime friend of mine that he had a pretty decent turnout with this whole game. He was one of the guys that was like, I want to make this my main game, right? Within I think 17 hours, he had the game done and was on like the highest end game difficulty.
Yeah, and then at that point it just gets boring because you're just repeating the same stuff.
Like, granted, yes, he fucking powered through that shit, right?
Yeah,
but at the time of 17 hours, he was literally like, I've got everything min maxed. I'm just looking for one piece of equipment, and then my build's done.
And that's like nothing.
You know?
Like 17 hours is not a lot of game time at all.
This game, effectively, from what I've seen, it's a step above Godfall, but it's got the same gameplay loop as Godfall.
Yeah.
The end game is a little bit more entertaining because they have the time trial aspect, and there is a little bit more variation. I think there's like 8 different expeditions you can do end game, whereas Godfall is either repeat storyline or do the tower thing.
Yeah,
but it's gonna fall the same way. The cards are all gonna hit the same.
I hope not. I mean, I like I said, I know I got the game for free, so it's you know.
But you also
whatever,
like Godfall too.
No, I do. Yeah, I do.
This is more your style game than it is.
I enjoyed Godfall, and it's, you know, this fixes a lot of the issues that I had with Godfall, where it was like the builds, though
There's
they
at
were
least
there.
build variety in this game,
right?
yeah.
There's a lot of build
Oh,
variety
man.
here. Like, again, I'm just saying, if you're min maxing, you're never gonna see a lot of builds. But like, if you're not min maxing, you're gonna.
The minute that I saw this game, and I'm a fucking looter shooter whore. Like, I've played them all essentially. I had bad feelings from the moment that I fucking came out. Just based off of the way that it looked, the way that the fucking developers were going. I've said it from the start. The fact that they would not tell us what their end game was, other than it was a storm, flew me right back to fucking Anthem. I was like, wow, I'm good.
Yeah,
I will pass, sir. And they're just making all the same fucking mistakes that Anthem was, honestly. And I'm so glad that I did not spend $60 on this game.
Yeah,
So fucking glad.
It's not worth $60 right now, guys. Like, and it's not going to hurt you to wait. Now, again, here's what I'll say: if you don't mind the graphically and not looking beautiful, but it, you know, whatever. If you like builds, if you like, you know, tinkering around with shit, if you like going into a kill room and feeling powerful for a little while, those kind of things, and you want to hop in with your buddy, fine, great, whatever, buy it. If that's what you want, just understand that the game may not be supported further than what we're at, right? And this
not going to feel powerful when they nerf your fucking builds to the ground.
No, that's true. But what I'm saying is that if it's still, there's still some, you still get in there and you still feel powerful, regardless. Like, you will feel powerful for a little bit. But all I'm saying is just, it's not going to hurt you to wait, because the way that the game is built, like, you can just respect your points and fucking go, so your buddies can play with you and whatever. Like, but I don't know.
Especially if there's no live support, like, it won't hurt to wait.
Right.
There won't be anything new added.
Or play it on fucking Xbox Game Pass, which these bastards didn't put it on PC, which is fucking, like, that's where I get pissed off. Like, they knew that
they couldn't make a deal with Steam.
They could have fucking done it with. There's games that are on Steam that are on the Xbox Game Pass. That's got
Steam that are on Xbox Game Pass.
Or they didn't want to.
I don't think they wanted to. I think that they were like, nope, we've got to make money. Like, we offered this demo, we got to do it. Like, I don't know. I think that they saw, like, if they didn't do it, they weren't going to make any money. So, and Square Enix has a perpetuancy to shut shit down. Like, especially when it comes to Western developers like this. Like, they did it with Crystal Dynamics, when it first came out with the original Tomb Raider, their game, they said it was a loss, even though it actually sold decently well. They tanked the shit out of fucking Marvel, and are still fucking shoving microtransactions down that throat. And I think that they're gonna do.
You
the
want to
same
talk
thing
about
here.
that?
Oh, I didn't know if anybody else was playing anything that they else said they wanted to talk about. Sorry.
Oh yeah, we are doing games that we're playing. I thought
Sorry.
we were just talking about Outriders at this point.
I'm not playing anything new.
Same. So Scruffy, hit it.
Kingdom Hearts, bro. I've been getting back into Kingdom Hearts.
All right, so let's talk about microtransactions.
No, we're talking about Kingdom Hearts. I'm so happy.
How does Kingdom Hearts run on PC? Is it good?
It runs great. Yeah, it runs like totally smooth. The remasters of these games actually are like really good.
I was really concerned that because Square Enix and the Final Fantasy ports to PC have a long track record of shit.
They put the effort into the games that they did remaster. Of course, they didn't remaster all of the games. Some of them are just cinematics, which bums me out a little bit. Also, I'm kind of okay with it because me personally, I want to play through all the games, and having some cinematic games to play or watch in between there for little breaks and still get the story. I'm cool with that.
I'll let you know that those cinematic games were for one was for handheld, like the DS, and I think one is like
Kingdom
a
Hearts
mobile adventure.
One was the mobile adventure, the back cover, which we watched. I know and
you're not missing anything because those are two of the worst games.
The mobile one, I really don't care. Well, I did want to play some parts of 358 too, but actually my sister has it, so I might play it on the DS at some point.
I don't know what you're talking about playing Kingdom Hearts. The only thing that I've seen you do for the past 3 days is fucking fight the same person.
Listen, I am playing it on proud mode, and I am
a bastard.
I go,
Thunder! I was so happy when I finally beat Birth by Sleep, dude. I was so happy because we were I've been doing a death counter, and I had a total of 119 deaths in that. And I'm actually kind of proud of that because this is my first time not only playing a Kingdom Hearts game in over 10 years, but also playing a game on a controller in over 5 years. Since I transitioned to PC, I haven't used a controller or picked one up since then. It's been a long time. So it was actually quite fun, actually.
That's wild. I'm actually going the opposite direction. For all of my no death runs right now, I'm actually like Dark Souls 1, 3, Bloodborne, and Demon Souls. I'm going to be all playing on PS5 because they run better on the PS5 than they do on the PC.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. But it's been awesome, and I'm excited. The next one I'm actually playing, I think, is Birth by Sleep 0.2, which is a newer title I think they made to fill in some of the story gaps.
I'm gonna drop a bomb on chat right now. I can't stand fucking Kingdom Hearts. I hate every fucking thing about that game.
We know.
Nobody
was surprised.
Fucking thing about that game.
I don't remember. It was like episode 3 or 4 where you and I got back and forth in the Sin Hates Anime talk.
I don't have a problem with anime. I fucking can't stand this game. And it's convoluted, stupid fucking story, and it's goddamn goofy bullshit with having Mickey Mouse as a fucking...
I've got a link for you.
Video Game Donkey?
Fucking protagonist
and the Donkey's video on Kingdom Hearts is hilarious.
Bullshit, stupid difficulty and the crap that they don't fix in the fucking games. Dude. I tried, man. I played Kingdom Hearts 1 and then went to Kingdom Hearts 2, and that game
Kingdom Hearts 1 is rough.
No, Kingdom Hearts 1 I was fine. I was like, okay, you know what? This is a fucking old ass game. I understand.
You also did the right thing to start off with Kingdom Hearts 1 because going back to it after playing the others is
it's harder.
Permission to post link in chat.
Yeah. Huh? Whose chat?
I think yours.
All of y'all's.
Yeah, I don't have a chat.
This is all good shit.
I don't have a chat.
If you want to know the story of Kingdom Hearts, this is a hilarious and accurate
saying
Kingdom Hearts.
It's the most convoluted, stupid fucking thing ever. And on top of that, again, my problem is, and I'm since you're playing it, we're gonna have weeks of this discussion because it's fucking it's trash that the fact that in Kingdom Hearts 2, and maybe in Kingdom Hearts 3 they fixed it. I don't know. But their camera angle and their combat system is fucking garbage. It's not hard because it's difficult to understand or to get. It's hard because the game and controls suck.
No,
Like,
I'll agree. The camera,
Yeah.
the lock-on system, everything, it is definitely, and I've experienced it in this one. It is rough, and it throws you for a loop so many times, like
it doesn't
to
throw you for a
points
loop,
where
it
like
bends you over and fucks you with a fucking
literally, yeah. I
uh,
mean, and
a
some of
Mickey
the
Mouse
like they
key.
throw in different dynamics of like fights in there. Like one where I was like flying and gliding and having to like run around this like open area that looked open, but it had invisible walls. I'm like the whole combat and all that. Like I wish it was a bit better, but like
You have to think of the age of the games, though.
yeah, the age of the games,
Yeah,
they
I-
definitely
The most
they were
fun
limited.
the most fun that I've had watching you play these games is making up my own dialogue for Mickey Mouse when he's fighting.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, bro.
What I don't understand is why did they choose this? Why did they choose Disney? Like,
I was
Out of-
told, and I
it's
haven't
like,
fact
'cause it's
checked this.
iconic.
Yeah, well, I was told actually by one of our viewers and friends is Holy Pika. He was mentioning that the whole Kingdom Hearts games was an elevator pitch. That big guys, big wigs from Square Enix and were like in an elevator, and some dude came in proposing a Disney Final Fantasy crossover, and Kingdom Hearts was the baby. I don't
was
really
Mickey Mouse,
understand. I
bro.
didn't look into it. I just heard it was some elevator pitch and some
It
random.
was the mouse, bro.
some dude.
He was like, oh, I like this cloud guy right over here.
Yeah.
Let's get him
I-
on the
I
payroll.
couldn't tell you
I
much
don't
more
know.
than that.
I'm
That's all that I've
gonna look
heard.
it up because on the next
I'm
podcast,
curious now.
I want to know whose fucking dumbass idea it was to.
That sounds like an MCP Pants skit from back in the day when he was talking about Kingdom Hearts and
Dude.
Like, I just want to know, yeah,
talking about fucked up flipper babies and
who thought that it was, and it's fine if you want to do like this convoluted or this like this game. You want to do a game where it's got like Mickey Mouse and fucking, I don't know, like keys and Cloud and like Final Fantasy and what, like, all right, cool. But why in God's name do you have to make the story so fucking convoluted that it just doesn't make any fucking sense? I'm
'Cause
just
it
like,
wouldn't be a Final Fantasy
Yeah,
game if it
I was
wasn't.
gonna say
it's
that's
so
just
fucking
Final Fantasy in a nutshell too.
You played Final Fantasy 14, you know.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so fucking
At
dumb.
the same time, I think it's great.
It's
I
not though.
I gotta say,
is.
bro, the keyblade that guy had
It was
pretty
dope.
fucking sick, bro.
Dude, I love the Keyblades. Like that is probably my favorite thing about the game.
Is
Like
this-
I want to get myself a real Keyblade.
Can I ask? Oh, please don't. Please don't.
I will. I'm gonna hang it
Please.
right back there above my fuck shite poster.
God damn it, man! Look, can I just ask a serious question? Legitimate, and I want.
I have a Keyblade in my my
Don't.
intermission screen.
I know.
Oh
you
yeah,
do.
I've saw that. I was like, I always loved that.
Is this game one of these things where it is held up and propped up because of nostalgia? Like, it
No.
legitimately is.
Me-
Kingdom
me,
Hearts
it-
1 is.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1 for sure. Like because I used to watch that game, watch my sister play that game when I was young and not knowing anything. And then I started playing it, and there is a nostalgia factor, but I also just have a love for the characters and everything in the games.
What is the okay?
Yeah, I'm with him on that one.
Yeah.
What is it
It's-
about the love of the
so
game?
Kingdom Hearts 1
love of the
is
characters.
rough to play.
What about the characters?
Kingdom Hearts 2 is rough to play. It's no different.
I'm waiting.
No,
I'm waiting
it
for
is-
Goofy.
It's cleaner. It works better. But
I'm waiting for
just
Goofy
hard.
to come in and bust a cap in somebody's ass with like a key gun.
Like, I just want to. I legitimately think that this game is not okay. All right, again, I'm gonna piss everybody off, but I don't fucking care. It's who I am. The story sucks. The combat sucks. The dialogue sucks. Like nothing
I think
about
the
this,
dialogue is
opinion
the
has
best
been
point,
noted.
bro.
bro. The
I think the
dialogue is not
dialogue
good.
like the best point.
It's not
I'll
good.
point out. I'll
The
point
whole-
out. I'll really quickly point out. This is coming from the guy that can't play fucking the forest because it has story. in it.
I'm
has a
playing the
story to
forest.
it.
Fuckwad, shut up. Like,
Yeah, but for the longest time, you're like, it has a story to it. I don't want to. Play
I
it.
just don't like games.
I just
Survival.
want to point that out.
Jesus
really
Christ.
You don't
quickly.
even have to follow the story. You can play the game and not.
Why
do
do
the
I come to
story.
these things? I just get dogged out. The fucking Jesus
You're
Christ.
You
talking
fucking
on like one
started
of my
this.
favorite games of all time. You're trying to say
I'm
it's
trying to.
trash.
I want to understand why it's your favorite game, though, because this is what I'm
I
saying.
literally said because the characters, because the whole dynamic between the Disney characters and the Final Fantasy characters, making Mickey Mouse a fucking god. Like I think that's sweet. I love it, dude. I love the whole dynamic of everything.
Okay, so you like that there is a Mickey Mouse. So I can name you 7 other games that have got Mickey Mouse in it.
Great.
Does it?
I played them. Mario Kart, all that Mario Party. I played
Where
all
has
those
Mario
games.
Kart got fucking Mickey Mouse in it?
No, actually, I don't know. I don't really care though. Is the point? Like, I don't care if other games have it. This game combines and makes Mickey Mouse like the ultimate badass, and not just Mickey Mouse. When I talk about Mickey Mouse, I talk about
Mickey
like all
Mouse,
the
the ultimate badass.
dude.
There's so much wrong in that
He'll
statement.
kick your ass, man.
Jesus
will-
Christ.
Listen.
He walks in and he's like, "All right, bitches, get on."
Maybe
the
it's
floor
because I'm
and
Jewish, bro, and like I know that Disney is just not
we're doing the hot
friendly when
dog,
it
hot
comes to
dog,
I-
Mickey.
hot
I
diggity
just-
dog dance right now. You better
It's
get
a
on
I think
your
we're
fun
all
game.
upon a difference of opinions here, and Sinan
Yeah.
just likes to.
I'm not
rap,
trying to stir
"I
the
suck"
pot.
to
I'm
anything that
not.
he doesn't like.
I'm not
I'm
trying
just
to.
joking,
I
just
just,
fair. I don't
you're
actually
calling
have
the
a-
game trash when it's not. It's just trash because you don't enjoy it.
I just don't see. It's not that I don't enjoy it. Like, there's been plenty of things where I have
It
been
is
like,
because
look,
you don't enjoy
Nope.
it.
Yeah,
though.
because there's tons of thousands of people that enjoy.
that
this
doesn't mean
game.
shit. That doesn't mean a
Yeah,
damn
yeah,
thing.
It does, I think.
Dude, there's been a lot of people that have enjoyed a lot of really dark shit. Doesn't mean that it's true. Doesn't mean that it's good.
I don't
Obviously,
know,
I am podcasting, and yes, I'm fine.
No, he's not fine.
So I don't know. Anyway, at some point in time, whether we're talking about it on the show or not, and I don't give a fuck whether the show lasts for 700 hours. I just want at some point in time want to know what it is about Kingdom Hearts, because this is a game that I firmly believe is propped up and held up strictly by nostalgia, and that's it.
I found the origin story, by the way. So it was back when Buena Vista Games was a thing underneath of Disney, and they were actually approaching Square Enix for a collaboration of some type, and the Kingdom Hearts main guy Nomura flipped the script on him. He let them present everything. He's like, "How about we do this instead?" And they're like, "Okay." That was how
Yeah.
it worked. It was just standard business meeting, but it was Disney approaching Square Enix and not the other way around.
Gotcha.
I
Yeah.
mean, Sunsprite Bay, I can go into detail as to what it is. I just don't know if these guys want me to. Like, for sake of time.
Detail of why
Of
what you
why
don't
I
like
said
about
this,
the game.
that this sucks. Like, it's saying,
Give me
It's
a
okay,
TLDR
guys. He
version.
liked Godfall, so
Yeah.
his opinion's null.
okay, all right, that's fine. I just,
Goodness gracious.
I mean, I pointed out what, like I said, I've not played 3. I'm interested. If anybody in 3 can tell me that the 3's controls are way better, that the gameplay, the dialogue is fucking better, and I don't think you can be. I don't think like
3 has the worst dialogue of the series.
Oh my god. Okay. That's, you know what? Fuck this.
Yeah,
game.
I
Move
don't
on
know.
to the next topic. Move
I
on to the
don't know
next
if I
fucking
can
topic.
is
dude.
rough, but it has a charm to it. I will say
what?
that.
What? Nostalgia. It's all fucking nostalgia. The only thing that anybody
3
can
wasn't
tell me
nostalgia.
is
3 was brand
3 just
fucking
came
new.
no, it fucking, I'm saying that it sits there and is, again, it's propped up and banks on nostalgia. It's like, oh, Kingdom Hearts. People like Kingdom Hearts. People like this game. Why do people like this
You
game?
know what
Well,
else
because they played this
is
game 10 years
nostalgia
ago.
and why it's
the
getting
game
remastered? Diablo 2.
Oh my
I was
god.
about to say that can
You're-
be said about.
You're
any
right,
nostalgia.
and trust
That
me,
can
trust
literally
me.
be said about Modern
Trust
Warfare.
me,
That can literally
I
be
am
said
going
about
to
Resident
fucking
Evil.
Final Fantasy.
I am
Resident
going to
Evil,
fucking blast
Rockstar,
into
fucking
fucking-
GTA can be
Get,
said about GTA.
Remember, guys, if Sin doesn't like it, it sucks.
It sucks. It's
Fucking
trash
bad.
game. No one should play it. No one should buy it.
It's not what I said. That's not what I said.
That's what is in your heart though.
No,
Oh, unless you're heartless.
no. I'm not. Don't. You're not gonna pull me,
High
bro.
five. Very nice.
See, you're crappy. You're crappy.
That was weird. That was fun. That was even weird for me. That's fucking weird. You guys are weirdos.
Christ, bro. Fuck. I don't know. Anyway,
Okay,
whatever.
so, but
Move on to the
I
next
can't
fucking
get behind
topic.
that kind of shit.
But you can get behind Mickey Mouse.
Hey,
saying
I
badass
was
shit.
I was okay with poking the bear a little bit, but when you guys pull out the little, oh, I'm gonna high five him from my fucking. No, I'm good.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-mm-mm.
So
was
Diablo
good.
2, what do you got?
Yeah, hit us.
Mm-mm-mm.
No, nothing. We're gonna skip Diablo
Okay,
2.
podcast is over, guys.
Yeah,
Fucking-
that's it, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Oh man, you know what? We're gonna do a show one day where it literally the whole entire fucking podcast is gonna be nothing but about Kingdom Hearts. That's it.
Cool.
I'm
Can it be about- can
I'm
we
going
throw
to be
Siege in there as
gone
well?
for that show.
Yeah, sure. You guys want to throw everything that I fucking hate
Yeah.
into one big
Yeah.
old fucking pot? Let's do it. Let's mix it the fuck up. Okay. Someone bought Super Mario Bros. For $660,000.
they're
Now I'm
dumb.
just pissed. Now you just made me mad. No, just-
fucking stupid. Worst
man.
waste of
Oh my
money in the
God.
world.
Yeah, I don't know. This was kind of crazy. $660,000. Some like ultra rare version of Super Mario Brothers was found in some
I don't care
estate
how
sale
fucking rare it
in the
is,
attic.
It is not worth $660,000.
I don't even. Can anybody even confirm what the fuck this like? What edition this was and why? This. Let me see. Let me go and look because I want to. I want to know exactly what it was that why this person bought this fucking thing. It was a sealed
Nintendo
copy
classic
of the-
Super Mario
yeah.
Bros.
That's it. It was just an unopened NES video game.
Unopened, yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't get that shit. Like that's the kind of shit that like I get that it's collectibles and some people go fucking bad shit for collectibles and like I just don't $660,000 that could have went to
So many other
so
things.
much
Man.
better use.
I don't understand. I mean, it was graded at 9.6, which is great, but like, it wasn't even. I don't know. Okay, calling it super rare, I feel like is still like that game is not super rare. Like, I don't know.
Maybe in that condition it is.
I mean,
I guess
again, like I said, I can see why they would do it. Like if it's mint condition, it's never been opened, it's still in the packaging.
but for
everything like that. But for
$660,000,
$660,000, no, I'm good.
dude,
I will
that's
pass.
like there are so many other games that I feel like never like you give me a sealed copy of StarCraft Ghost or some shit like that. Yeah, okay, I understand because like
I'll
never
go-
made it to fucking shelf, but.
I'll go buy Soldier Boy's fucking console and play his knockoff.
Buy,
fucking
buy the
Mario Bros.
KFC console, bro.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess this just shows you guys don't ever fucking open anything ever. Like that's why all those pops back there are staying fucking sealed. At some point in time, some dumbass is gonna buy one of those things for
I got a bunch of unopened McDonald's toys from like 1990s.
Dude, my grandmother used to
My
collect
mom
those.
used to collect the Beanie Bear or
Honestly,
Beanie Babies.
Dude, I love Beanie Babies.
Honestly, probably sell those shit for pretty good money.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah.
What?
the Beanie Babies.
Oh,
and
Beanie Babies.
bullshit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, there's a lot of collectors out there. It's kind of weird.
That's why I bought my car. It's just because they stopped making it, so I'm just like, fuck it. Eventually, it'll be worth a bunch of money. So,
Yeah.
Yep. All right, moving on to the next topic. Oh fuck, hold on one sec. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I moved and didn't see it. So, Swords of Legends Online.
Yeah.
Enigma, this is all you, bud. This is your.
It's looking
I'm
looking
excited for
good,
this.
man. So Swords of Legend Online is a weird fucking like I don't know why they named that. I mean, it's a Chinese company, so that's probably not how it's supposed to be said, but once it came through translation, that's what it was. So don't ignore the weird fucking name, but it looks like a good game. It honestly, I've been looking into it. I heard about it about 2 days ago. I've been looking into it for the past day because I'm just like, it's looking really good. And I know you guys know already that I'm a fucking Eastern theme. I love that shit to death. Japanese
Yeah.
culture, Chinese culture, everything like that. So this is hitting on all the right places right here. It's got 6 classes. It's a traditional MMO, which you'll like, I think, Sinan.
It's action
does-
combat too.
But it's anime, so I hate anime, right?
It does have dungeons, just to let you know.
Yeah.
So,
So
it's
I
an
forgot.
MMO.
We're gonna throw
Yeah.
BDO into the mix on that one too. So
it is an MMO because it has
it
dungeons.
also has Mickey Mouse.
you can all fuck right
But
off.
it's a traditional MMO with action combat. Looks decent, man. Like the graphics are on par with like BDO
Mhm.
in some cases. Character creation looks like it's on par with BDO when it comes down to like minute changes of the facial features and the body features and everything like that. It's got 6 classes that are coming out when it first releases, and it's a pretty diverse set of classes too, which is pretty interesting. It's not just kind of like copy and paste like a lot of these Chinese companies, these Eastern companies release with MMOs. Usually it's just a copy and paste of the same fucking class, just with a couple of different minute changes, right? But yeah, it looks good. Like from everything that I've seen, it's got a huge open world. It's got decent PvP. We were talking about this last night, Scruffy, where I was telling you it's got like 1v1, 2v2 arenas, right?
Yeah.
Apparently it's got
That sounds pretty dope.
apparently it's got a 10v10 arena as well.
That's cool. That's
Um,
still like just enough. Like,
Wait, you can play it
not
now?
to be that open world craziness.
Yeah.
You can play it now.
No, you can play it now if you have like one of the VPNs.
If you're in
Oh.
China, yeah.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
it's releasing
VPN.
this summer, so people are expecting probably around September-ish area, maybe a little bit earlier than that.
Do they have a English pack, like voice pack, or what, or English dub pack?
I'm sure.
I'm sure they do for the Chinese
dubbed
version, but yeah, when it comes over here
when
to
it
the
comes
West,
to-
it's
No,
gonna be
obviously
completely.
I know that, but I'm saying
or
because like
something,
Lost Ark, for
most.
instance, you can VPN to it.
Yeah, I'm sure that you could. It's going to be a little harder to get into the Chinese version versus the what you had with Lost Ark when it was in the Russian version, because on the Chinese version they usually require like a social security what's it called, ID for.
God damn, play
For
games
CCP.
over in fucking China. You got to put your social security number in.
Yeah, no, that you
Jesus
do. Yeah,
Christ.
100%.
Welcome to communism, bro.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
The reason why I think that you'll like it, in specifically you, Sinan, is because it reminds me very heavily of WildStar. Like the gameplay reminds me very heavily of WildStar. The PvP reminds me very heavily of WildStar. The dungeons.
We all
remind me
agreed
very heavily of
not to
WildStar.
mention that name in this.
I'm just saying. And I found out today that it has a housing system like WildStar where you can literally customize everything.
That's cool.
The housing system in that game looks dope.
Literally customize everything. You
Yeah.
can make floating islands that you have rocks that you can put into place. You like I was watching a video of the dude. He made like his own little like Chinese themed garden with like the yin and the yang and all that bullshit, and like gardens, ponds with like koi fish and everything like that, and like that in it. It's very
I'm watching.
detailed.
I mean, I'm watching the videos now. Like it looks good. Here's the fear, right? That I have with this is that it's an Eastern MMO, right? And
Yeah.
these things normally turn into a cash grab pretty fucking
Yeah.
quickly.
Normally.
Like
I mean,
Isn't
that
that
is
what
the
happened with
fear
like
to be
Blade
had.
and Soul and stuff like that?
The one upside
The
that
Blade and Soul, I don't think was the Eastern MMO.
Blade and
Blade
Soul
and
was
Soul
absolutely an Eastern MMO.
100%
Oh,
was.
well, I thought it was Eastern theme. I thought it originated in West. then.
No.
it was a Korean MMO if
Yeah.
I remember
Okay.
correctly. But the one good thing that they have going for it's a double-edged sword, right? I understand where you're coming from with this, and I have the same worry, right? Like I've said it multiple times in our chat that if they cannot fuck it up, it's going through GameForge. They do Aeon, they do Terra.
Yeah.
They fucked up Terra,
Oh,
right?
God, they fucked Terra so bad.
Terra got really pay to win, and it shouldn't have ever been that way. Aeon, from what I've heard, doing pretty decent. I mean, it's got a player base. It's got its own like little niche player base, and so far as I can tell, they haven't made it like insanely pay to win. With this one, it's been out in China for about 4 years, right? I think right now they have it as a subscription base in China, and everything. There's no nothing in their cash shop that's like benefits the player. It's all cosmetics, everything like that. There's no
As it
weapons.
should
There's no like experience boosts. There's no energy or anything like that. Like
It's
most
weird.
of these fucking
That's weird,
games
man.
have.
That's real weird for a Chinese-based MMO.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that does not fit
So-
the bill at all.
If they can take whatever they have in China and just copy it over, don't fuck with it. Just leave it the fuck alone. The game will be good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they can do that, but I'm not entirely sure if GameForge can do that, and that's the only thing that I have a worry about. If they can do it, I think it'll be a very good MMO.
Who's the developer of the game?
I can't remember what the name of the fucking developer was.
But Gameforge is the publisher.
GameForge
Publisher,
is the
yeah.
publisher.
See, I'm gonna tell you right now,
Let me
man.
see.
Honest to God, dude, the publishers cause more fucking issues and problems than anything
100%.
else. Like, we would
'Cause
still
they
have
have a
WildStar.
direct-
We would still have WildStar if it wasn't for NC Soft. We would
Yeah.
still have
The developer is a Chinese company called Wangyong Shengtong Entertainment Technologies Corporated.
repeat that again.
Wangyong Shengtong Entertainment Technologies Corporated.
That is the weirdest, fucking, longest fucking name for a video game company.
It's probably not weird to a Chinese person.
No.
Probably not. Probably not.
No,
It-
probably normal.
But hey, look, man. Like, honestly, the video game industry goes in cycles, right? And
does.
we've got we saw the whole MMO cycle blew up, right? And everybody was doing MMOs, and then now it's died off, and then it was shooters, and it was battle royales, and it was MOBAs and whatever else, and so now it's come, and card games, and now it's coming back around, right? Like the Diablo style games, the looters, the MMOs are coming back, right? So especially too in a time when you've got like, COVID, where people are spending their entire time at home, they're, like people are going to want this kind of stuff. So,
well, and that's one thing that I can say is like, yeah, here in the West it had that happen, but in the East, MMOs have never stopped.
No, they didn't.
Like the East is very, very popular when it comes to MMOs. They're just constantly pumping that shit out, and that's the worst part about it. Is that's why they have such a bad reputation. Is that
they bring them out and they
time,
shut them down? Fuck me, man. They'll
Yeah.
bring them up and they'll shut them down. Then they bring them out and they shut them down, or they just cash chop the shit out of them. So
yeah. But
Yeah.
it looks good, man. It honestly does look good. The animations look smooth. The gameplay looks smooth. The combat looks smooth. I saw a little bit of like the story and like a little bit of the some of the in-game cutscenes. They look a little janky. Not gonna lie, the cutscenes look a little weird. There's something going on with them where I don't know if it was the person that was like recording had a shit tier fucking PC or if that was the actual cutscene, but it had a little bit of like almost like it had some
cutscene
frame
thing,
drops and
right?
shit. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
looks
They've
good, dude.
got a few options as of right now. I think they've got a $39 option for pre-order if you want to. I would not recommend pre-ordering it.
don't pre-order
Wouldn't
anything.
recommend pre-ordering most things these
Don't
days.
pre-order shit.
But if
Yeah.
you do want to, they've got like a collector's edition that's like $100. They've got a regular edition that's like 40 and a deluxe edition that's like 60.
But it's gonna
And
be
you
paid.
get varying.
It's gonna
What's
be a subscription-based game, though.
It's not going to be subscription. Over here in the West, it's going to be a buy once, play forever, basically.
Oh, it's gonna be microtransaction out the fucking.
Oh,
ass.
I mean, it's already microtrans. Like they over in China, they have it as a subscription base, but it still has that cosmetic microtransactions. And
of course, I
mounts
guess
and
so does Final Fantasy.
If it's
Yeah.
if it's just cosmetic microtransactions, then that's fine.
That's the biggest thing with me is so far, and you can take the developer's word with a grain of salt because every fucking developer from the East has said this coming over to the West. They're not going to do pay to win. They're not going to do pay to win. They're not going to do pay to
And
win.
then they do pay to win.
And then they do pay to win.
What's
Yeah,
so
so-
odd about that is when they bring it over to the West. The West is one of these. We don't like pay to win. Like that is more of an Eastern thing anyway.
Mhm.
And so it's so odd for them to bring it over here
flip flopped.
and be like,
how
pay to
they,
win.
But how they get away with it is, again, they make it a buy to play, get as much money as they can off of that, and then just let the game die. So
I would rather it like.
And there are whales out there that'll dump
there are fucking ways.
copious amounts.
I would
into
rather
these
yeah,
games.
it be a sub than have pay to win features.
So would I.
Even like
but-
to the point of being a buy once and like actually Blade and Soul had though Blade and Soul was free to play, they had a subscription for a little bit of a better boost.
Yeah.
I
See,
like.
that's-
Honestly, man, I think
That's
Guild
one
Wars.
thing that I don't like. I personally don't like it when you have to buy the game and then subscribe to it. I
Yeah,
would much rather buy the game.
I think
be
Guild
able to
Wars
play everything in the game.
does
I
a
think Guild
phenomenal
Wars is
job.
a great representation. of it,
Yeah,
right?
Guild Wars does great.
You purchase it once,
Mhm.
you get all the content. You don't
And
have
it's
to
just
worry
DLC
about it.
at that
It's just
point.
DLC
Like,
at that
that's it.
point.
Yeah.
Everything else is all in the cash up is all cosmetic.
Yeah.
Nothing affects your stats or anything like that. It's all just
Yeah, it's not
boom,
like
shot
Final
clock, you
Fantasy
buy it.
where it's you buy the game, you sub to it, you buy all the full. That's a bit much.
Yeah, and Final Fantasy has its own thing, right? Like
Yeah.
I think that Final Fantasy does it well.
Yeah.
They give you a lot of options without having to go to the MOG station, right? Like you can do the entire game, play the entire game 100% without ever buying anything from
Yeah,
the MOG
but
station.
I mean, just is the DLC is like
Yeah,
full price DLC every time that comes out.
but
But
it's
that's
40
just
bucks.
Square Enix. That's just Square Enix.
Yeah, but also Square Enix. I think Final Fantasy has probably one of the best and most cleanest experience when it comes to an MMO out right now. I mean,
I
It
agree. Yeah,
does.
I'm
From what I've
not
seen, I
dissing
will
on
agree
it.
with that as well.
so like
I'm just saying
I
the
think
price point.
when we're talking about fucking, and this moves right into our next topic, of WoW or whatever else being the other big heavy hitter competitor out there, like you obviously have ESO too, but like ESO, we've talked in numerous links about their fucking predatory damn subscription service. They say it's free, but it's fucking not, like, or whatever. Like, I think that charging a full $60 price tag, and on top of that, a lot of times shit goes on sale. I mean, that shit goes on sale for pretty cheap.
But the one thing that I will say about Final Fantasy compared to a lot of other games like World of Warcraft, like ESO, like Guild Wars 2, not digging on any of them or anything like that. Like their expansions are great, but from my experience, every single expansion that I've purchased for Final Fantasy has been worth the money and then some.
Yeah,
Every
from what I've
single
heard, that
fucking one of them.
is.
Oh, you'll
that,
you'll definitely get the time out of it. I mean,
So it's one of those things where it's like, granted, like Heaven's Sword, a little bit, not so much. It was a little bit boring, but Stormblood,
Stormblood's
Shadowbringers, both have been. I have surpassed my expectations as to what I paid for them.
Yeah.
Fucking bangers, bruh.
Yeah. Well, this moves right into WoW and World of Warcraft. They Blizzard. And there's gonna be a chunk here for Blizzard. So if you don't give a fuck about Blizzard, you might as well go ahead and just tune out now and come back in a little bit. But WoW is changing their sub changes, and they're adding a bunch of microtransactions into the game. Not only, which is one of the things I feared with, and I said I hope they don't do this with Burning Crusades, but adding in shit in there. So Nigma, I'll let you.
We had this conversation back when Classic came out, and I remember one of your comments was, well, they can't fuck up Classic, man. They can't add shit to Classic because it wouldn't be Classic. And I think my exact words were, want to bet? 100%, man.
I didn't think they would do it, man. I didn't think they would do this. Like,
yeah, 100%. So essentially what happened is they've changed the way that their subscription model works, right? They've now removed it's still the same price, but they've removed the month-to-month thing. So you can no longer just pay for 1 month of subscription to World of Warcraft. You have to pay for the $14 sub, $14.99 sub, and it has to be on a renewed contract. So granted, you can pay for it, cancel it before the month comes up, but there's no longer that option of just being like, okay, I want to play for a month, I don't want to have to worry about it, I'm just going to pay for the $14.99 one-time charge, right? Which is a little finicky. It's a little fucking shifty.
Do they allow you to still buy tokens? Like, can you still
you
get WoW
can still pay for tokens. You can still pay for game time with tokens and everything like that. It's a shifty way of doing things. They've basically. I was watching Bellular a couple weeks ago, and he explained it very well. I'm probably going to butcher how he explained it, but he basically went down the route of Activision has brought in their cost management team, essentially, and their cost management team has told them that they can make more money off of removing that one-time sub fee and making it so that you have to pay for the renewal, right? Because more people are going to forget that they have that subscription and just let it continue to lapse than if they just had one-time fee.
Wow.
Oh,
it's all
man.
about greed and money.
So that's one of the top things with them. A lot of people are kind of pissed off about that.
They don't give
not
a
as
fuck.
much as the TBC Classic.
Yeah,
stuff.
That's them
So
adding
TBC Classic. They are adding in not only character boosts, but they're adding in character cloning, which I'm not entirely sure what character cloning is. I think it might be cloning from like one server to another, essentially like server transfers.
Now, right? Back then when Classic first came
didn't
out,
have this stuff.
Yeah, it didn't have any of that.
Had nothing of this.
You had to redo
the current rendition of WoW, where you can go in and buy boosts for any character that you have, where you can transfer your character, where you can change your name, where you can change your appearance. Nothing of that existed.
So they're totally going against of what they were doing with Classic being a original.
There was definitely no play. You could not boost the show. Like, here's the problem that I have with boosts, and Asmongold mentioned it, and I will re-echo this. The Classic is no game to boost your fucking character. If you go into Classic and you boost your character and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you're going to wipe the party. And in Classic, it's a pain in the ass, man. There's nothing. It is not like. It's not like any other MMO where it's easy and fun and whatever, that's fine. You wipe, you go back, whatever. No, when you wipe in fucking Classic, it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. And you have people that are going in that are boosting to, mages that don't know anything about fucking a mage, and they just suck ass.
I don't know anything about fucking a mage either.
Well, it's fun. You should try it.
Yeah, try it.
So the biggest one with that though, like the biggest light on the horizon with that though, is like and I hate to continue using this analogy. It's a two-way sword, or a two-sided sword, right? on one end, yes, it's nice because they're making it so that you can only do it once per account, right? So you can only boost one character once per account on Classic. On the other hand, I guarantee you that this is a test bed for them pushing as much as they can to see if they can get away with character boosts on Classic.
Yeah, why have it at all if it's only one? Like,
exactly.
I see no point.
They're
going to do this, and then when Wrath of the Lich Kings comes out, they're going to be like, oh, hey, by the way, we're testing out this new theory, or this new little thing that you can just boost any character that you want.
Testing it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know, man.
It's a slippery slope, man.
It's Blizzard. It's fucking.
And it's going against it, just like you said. It's going against everything that Classic was.
Yeah. I did not think that they would go that route, man. That's really sad.
I knew it. I knew it from the start. I was like, they guaranteed if Activision can get away with getting as much money out of their fucking player base, they will 100% do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is and this moves right into our next topic as well as D2 Resurrected technical alpha went live today for streamers, right? And for someone that myself and Enigma grew up pretty much playing Diablo 2.
So it's all nostalgia, right?
Yeah, it is all nostalgia, bro. I swear to God, I will come to this camera and beat the fucking man bun off of you, like, just so you know. It is there is a nostalgia play, and I downloaded Project Diablo 2, and played that, which is a fan made project. You guys remember the shit that happened with Warcraft 3 where Reforged?
Yep.
I heard about it. It was bad.
Complete clusterfuck, man.
It was lies on top of lies on top of lies on top of lies. And there was a foundation of lies. So
you live on a foundation of lies.
Like, it literally, everything they promised was not done. And then to make it a step further, because of the way that they did their FTE, if you don't get that man bun off of camera, I swear to God, man. Dude, I have a Hellcat. I can get there in within an hour. Like, trust me. Like, the fact is they changed the way their BattleNet system worked, or basically the old school system. So now it has to use the new school BattleNet, and because of that, like, you could not. They did not want another Dota situation happening, right? So they just fucked everything up. Like, if you go in thinking that Diablo 2 Resurrected is going to be anything other than a fucking just shit show, as much as like they are trying to say, hey, it's not, we're not fucking anything up, we're not changing anything, like, we're just going to keep it all the fucking same, we're just making things look better. I don't know, man. Have any of you guys watched this? Like, watched what
I only saw.
I watched the Druid gameplay, and it looked pretty good.
Did you watch?
Or is that for the new Diablo?
That's
out?
Diablo 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no,
I
saw him
haven't watched any Resurrected then.
Like the legacy to the legacy mode to the new mode or whatever, the new rendition.
I've been paying zero attention to it because I think it's going to fail miserably and be a complete fucking failure, just like Warcraft Reforged was.
Did you?
Probably.
So okay. So here's the thing. They showed this, and Scruffy, you mentioned it.
Yeah.
The fact that they do this, it just makes me fucking livid. So they have the original Diablo 2 game running, and then you hit a button and I'm gonna sneeze. They hit a button and I sneeze. It's crazy. Thank you. So they hit a button, and then you can go and you're seeing the new version of Diablo 2, right? So you can hit a button and go back and be like, oh, look, see, we're not doing anything different. We're not changing anything. So I asked a question of somebody in chat or somebody and whatever else, and finally got someone to answer it. Do you know that they are running both versions of that fucking game in the background? So not only is Diablo 2 running in the background, original, but also the new version is running. So 2 copies of the game are running at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know why. The other thing that makes me fucking livid about it is that to me is nothing more than a publicity stunt. That is me saying, that is you in my mind saying, hey, just look, because I want to show you that we're not going to fuck anything up. But in reality, what you're telling me is like, hey, we're going to sucker you in because we're really going to fuck this shit up when it comes out and we don't fucking.
But it brings like it goes back to what I've said in the chat already, right? I am flabbergasted that they are charging $40 for this fucking game.
Yeah. At most
Flabber fucking gasted, man.
$20.
Nothing. Why?
It should be
Why
free.
are you charging for a fucking remaster?
It should
Why?
be free. It should be free. Like
a lot of games charge remasters.
And I don't understand why
I
people
don't
buy them
understand it either. They definitely should not be full price or even that high. I say below half price at least.
This game
It's
should
just-
be completely fucking free. Period. It
I
is.
I thought the same thing with Warcraft 3 Reforged as well. As like, how can you like go to bed at night with the knowledge that you were charging for a game that is literally 20 years old?
I think it's I don't know. I think it's okay to a certain extent.
Not at $40.
Not-
It's not.
no,
I
I'm
don't fucking tell you that for a
I'm
goddamn.
saying a certain extent being like a minimal charge. Like $40 is way too high. Like I said, anything over like half price of the original base game is too much. I think
this game-
maybe if you owned Diablo, because Diablo 2, correct me if I'm wrong, it is on Blizzard, right? Or is it
Yeah.
not?
Well,
Like it is there. If you own Blizzard,
you can't.
or Diablo
I don't
2,
think
the
you can't
original,
launch the game. I don't think through the BattleNet client. Like you have, you
I
can.
don't know.
You can go. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm 100% sure of this. You can go and buy the game through Blizzard's website, BattleNet's website, and then you'll get a downloadable file that you then have to download to play.
I don't know. Then either way, like any evidence of owning the original game, get it for free. If people don't own it, below half price or very minimal price. That's just my feelings on a remastered game, because I agree. Like it's the same stuff. It just looks prettier. It's just a copy paste with better graphics.
And here's the other problem that I have with this game too is they're going and literally saying, hey, you're gonna be able to cross progression, which in theory sounds great, right? But if you're me and you're Enigma, that should raise constant questions of automatically going, this is gonna cause duping issues for fucking miles and miles and miles, because it's copying your character from one over to the other one. Like
we'll not point out the fact that there was already duping issues galore in fucking Warcraft or in Diablo 2 to begin with.
Right. Like it and there's like, they're adding in leaderboards or whatever else. I can tell you right now, if I was the guys that are doing Project Diablo 2, there's two things. I'd be pissed because like a lot of stuff that they've done in that game, they are doing. And two, I guarantee you that there's a cease and desist coming, like from Activision about this.
I brought that up last time we talked about whenever they first announced this, that should the people of Project Diablo 2 be worried? And you didn't.
Because we didn't know what they were doing.
At that time, they hadn't brought out any information about
right.
Gotcha.
Diablo 2 remastered.
Right, but what they're doing,
we literally just learned about Diablo 2 remastered like 2 months ago.
Yeah, and then this is the first time we've actually seen any kind of content or whatever else. It is fucking like they are doing someone played Project Diablo 2 and was like, you know what? Let's just remaster this and fucking take all the things that they're doing, and then we're going to sue the shit out of the other company, for what's going to happen. I don't know, man. Please. I don't give a fuck how nostalgic Diablo 2 is to you. Please don't spend $40 on this fucking game. And the fact that they're selling it for $60 and you get Diablo 3 and all of the expansions.
And all the expansions.
I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
it's a joke to me, dude.
Bullshit.
Like, who doesn't own Diablo 3 at this point?
Like,
that plays Diablo 3.
But I also
but you don't play Diablo.
I don't play isometrics.
Like,
I do talk shit on the price, and I did buy the Kingdom Hearts remastered for like nearly
from Epic. Can we talk about this really quickly? Can we fucking talk about it?
No, we're not allowed to, because I'm already having to fucking sit over here with my damn like little beads because I'm all fucking worked up.
I don't get me wrong. I am salt that Epic was the ones that snagged Kingdom Hearts, bro.
About
No,
2 minutes away from disowning you buying the fucking game.
I also
Right.
am not in the wrong here because I paid full price for Demon Souls remake.
Yeah,
but that was a remake, not a remaster. Like literally, they took the entire fucking game.
Didn't you do Final Fantasy 7 too or something?
That's the whole point. Is like I understand Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, it's a remake, not a remaster. Right, my bad.
Yeah.
I understand Final Fantasy 7. I understand Demon Souls because it was a complete fucking remake. Correct?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was rebuilt from the ground up. Demon Souls is a lot more true to the original form than what
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII was.
D-
But yes, they are both still
Diablo
remakes.
2 is literally just a skin.
Yeah.
All they've done is just make it look a little bit prettier.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think they're gonna fuck this game. I think they're gonna
I think they
fuck
are too.
this game
Yeah.
up.
They've already got a track record of
Like
fucking up remasters.
fuck.
And like you said, I mean,
up.
especially with the two games running back to back, I think that's still
Why?
gonna
Yeah,
be-
dude, I fucking
That's-
don't even understand it, man. I'm like, why the fuck would you have both of these games? Like, do you know how much
have them be
CPU power?
separate things to launch on Blizzard. Have one be the legacy, which I don't even know. Like you said, it might not be on there, but have a legacy mode and then have the remastered mode and
But
just have it two different launch.
They're literally running behind each other, like one on top
Yeah.
of the other, and it just blew me away. I was like, because again, I was just like, oh, maybe this is just like a skin, right? Because or like a filter or some shit or whatever. You know, there have been games that have done this before where you've been like to be able to hit a button.
reshade.
Yeah, and it goes back to like, you know, pixel mode or whatever. Nope.
Yeah.
I had a streamer. I was like, hey, do me a favor. Can you just like Control Alt Delete real quick, pull up Task Manager, and sure fucking enough, man, Diablo
Oh.
2 and Diablo 2, and they're both fucking running, and I'm like, oh my god, like if that's
Dude,
gonna,
my CPU would be chugging.
dude, and like Asmongold was like having problems. He's like, I don't understand why I'm having like frame issues. I was like, because you're running 2 copies of the fucking game, moron. Like, I'm like, dude, it's fucking terrible. Like, please don't buy this game, please. And what I think is even funnier is that, so Grinding Gear Games, if you're not familiar who Grinding Gear Games is, Grinding Gear Games makes Path of Exile. Path of Exile, Grinding Gear Games is made up of old Diablo 2, Diablo 1 developers. So they dropped the trailer for the second trailer because we've not heard anything about Path of Exile 2, like except for at ExileCon where they dropped the like, hey, we're gonna have Path of Exile 2. They didn't say, have not said a fucking word. This has been like months of nothing, and then they dropped Path of Exile 2 trailer today. They didn't do it like as like, oh hey, you know, we heard, you know, we know that the technical alpha is coming out, so we're gonna go ahead and just drop it, right? Like they didn't drop it at like noon or like 1. They waited until like because they waited until the game actually launched, like the alpha launched, which means somebody was sitting there watching the Twitter feed as Blizzard is going, hey, we're having problems. Hey, we're having problems. Hey, we're having problems. And when they said, hey, everyone's good, and clicked OK, somebody at Grinding Gear Games went, send it, and whatever else, and literally sent it. To me, that was the biggest fucking stab in the face
That's
of,
awesome.
of Blizzard. And it was, and Path of Exile 2 looks amazing. Like it looks gorgeous, just from like the actual gameplay, from what we've seen, right? It looks beautiful. Like
That's cool though. Like
I thought it was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. And Path of Exile 2 is free, so it's just saying you can either pay $40 for a reskinned version of a game that's going to run double on your CPU and probably be fucked up, or you can go get a free copy and play Path of Exile 2.
of a brand new game, not
Yeah,
a reskin.
Yep, not a reskin. It's funny. Anyway, anything else anybody wants to talk about Diablo 2 remastered or resurrected?
No, I mean we got 10 more minutes left in the
Yep.
stream.
All right, we got to burn through this. All right.
Yeah. Get questions ready too for
yeah.
any of the topics that we've gone over.
Cinematic survival sims coming out to PlayStation 5. We that's, hey, you guys know as much as we do now.
I'm not opposed to them. After I have played At Dead of Night, being a cinematic like survival / like horror puzzle game.
Is
not
that like
opposed to
that
them. They're
game
kinda-
that
they're kinda
that
cool.
hotel
I just
game?
don't understand them, man.
That
Is it
they're
Survival game, and they've just added on cinematic to make it sound like what's the word for like the fancier bread.
Brioche.
holy-
No, like there's
Baguette.
a
Baguette.
specific word for it. It's like a culinary word. I can't remember. It
I don't know.
literally just means
Moist.
it's the same shit. It's just fancy.
fancy. I mean, I just think it's a different kind of a little bit, not too much, a little bit of a different kind of experience.
Is it
to-
the same thing as that game that in that hotel that you and Plagued played?
Yeah, that's At Dead of Night. It's the hotel one where you're going through being chased by a killer.
Oh, okay.
And it's a point and click adventure kind of game.
How do you do that in a first person shooter?
This is a first person shooter.
Yeah, isn't it
Is
like
that what it
I'm
said?
pretty sure it's a cinematic survival
I don't
first person shooter simulator.
No,
I
they
don't.
just said it was all they said was that it was a cinematic survival.
It might be
I could have
with
swear
the
to God I
shooting.
saw
I
a
did see a
game.
gun or
Yeah, I was
something
say I
in
saw
one
a
of it.
gun.
It might be like Until Dawn with a choice making system. Like you have this gun, do you choose to use it against this so and so?
The answer is always yes.
I mean, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I'm just saying
There was
that
also
this.
aiming and shooting mini games in Until Dawn during the cutscenes.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, there was. You're right. So I mean,
Hey, whatever.
I don't
cool.
know.
Hey, you know.
Gourmet. That was
might be cool.
that was the word I was
Gourmet.
looking for. Yeah.
That's just like any type of food, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People add
Gourmet
shit
bread.
gourmet onto it just to make it sound fancy, but it's just fucking bread.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, it's coming out to PlayStation 5. It's to be an exclusive. Have at it. You know. Hey, Cliffy B. Can I get a real quick?
Who's that?
Can I get a shut
Who's
up?
Cliffy
Can I get a
B?
one in chat real quick if you guys know who Cliffy B is? While I'm explaining this, I know who it is. But Cliff Blazinski is now making games. I think the statute of limitations is up on this. I keyed Cliff Blazinski's car, by the way, when I lived in North Carolina.
Wow.
He is the creator of Gears of War. He is the founder of Epic Studios. He is the creator of the Unreal Engine. And
I didn't know he founded Epic.
Yep, he's the original founder of Epic. And he is like, so a couple games that he's made was obviously the Unreal stuff. He made Gears of War. He left and he made what was the fucking shooter game that came out that was like oh god damn it, hold on, I gotta find this because it's gonna annoy the shit out of me.
There was one that I recognized that he made.
Cliffy B shooter game, hold on. What was the name of this fucking game?
Bulletstorm?
No, not Bulletstorm.
that was the people who did
that's
Outriders.
People Can Fly. Yeah. God damn it! It's just his newest one. Hold on. He made Boss Key Studios, and they made Lawbreakers. That was the game. That game was trash or whatever else.
It had potential though. It looked cool.
It did.
Yeah, it was garbage. It was
Just like
garbage.
Outriders.
Anyway, he is the epitome of a douchebag. Like a douchebag. And at some point in time, I will go into the story of why I keyed his car, but let's just say he was a douchebag. And oh yeah, Radical Heights. Thanks.
I remember
Appreciate
that
that.
game.
Radical Heights, another shit game. But he has gone on the record multiple times, be like, I'm never coming back to video games. I'm never going to come back to video games. And now he is saying, I'm coming back to make video games because we need someone that loves video games back in the video game industry. It ain't you, homie. Go to fuck away. You can go live in your penthouse mansion.
You hate him so much. Why are you hating on me for not knowing him?
Stand this douchebag.
I thought you liked this guy, and that's why
Absolutely
you don't like me
not, man. He rates right. It's like Kingdom Hearts and Rainbow Six, and then Cliffy B. Like right up there in my top three. He's actually
I'm
above
happy to see that Kingdom
BDO.
Hearts is more hated than Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
So there's a chance for a Rainbow Six, Bill.
So yeah. Anyway, he's making a game. He's coming back. PlayStation 3.
Do you think there's a chance for a redemption arc?
On what? On this? On him?
Of
Cliffy
Cliffy
B.
B.
No.
Cliffy B
Absolutely not.
redemption arc.
Absolutely not.
What if he made an Avengers game that actually works?
No. I would not buy it. I refuse to buy anything that he touches.
Bro.
He's
Okay.
a piece of shit. He's a
Yeah.
piece of shit. All right.
Didn't you play the last Gears game?
That's not his. He didn't do that.
He made it.
That's not even the same studio, bro. Nope.
It
It's
might not be the
studio.
same studio. It's still his brainchild.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I'm just saying. Man.
am I not supposed? So like it.
You're not
Am I?
wrong, but
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, am I
yeah.
not supposed to eat like hot dogs because they're technically German and I'm Jewish? Like, is that not supposed to be a thing either? Like, I'm not allowed to have bratwurst.
Yes, it's exactly what's supposed to happen.
Jesus Christ, man. Okay. PlayStation 3 and Vita and PSP stores are shut down, or they're shutting
That's
down.
crazy to me, man. This is a big story, actually. Like,
It's huge.
it's crazy because we're losing a lot of games.
yeah,
but the games that are-
2200.
What was the number, Enigma?
20
2200?
estimated 2200 games will cease to
2200.
exist.
I read that
Because
it was
they-
only 138.
Yeah, because
I
they're
think-
digital onlys for those systems specifically, and there's no likelihood of them being ported to PS4 or
Are you sure
PS5.
2,200 games in total and not? Because I think it's only 138 that were the digital only. I'm pretty sure that's what I read. 138 were the digital only ones.
It's coming from several. The Gamer. It's coming from
I don't know. I could be wrong.
PSU.com.
I looked into it today and I only
says
saw
2,200 digital only games will be lost when Sony closes its PS3, PSP, PS
That's a lot
digital
then.
stores.
So wait,
And this
that's what
isn't
I'm
even
saying.
including
is Kingdom Hearts one of them?
the PlayStation
No.
Vita developers that were actively still making games for the Vita and got notified the same time the rest of the world did through social media.
Wait.
This is happening.
So
There are people that are still making Vita games?
Yeah, it's still a very, very popular market for indie devs. If they want to make a handheld, it's a lot more accessible than trying to do it on a DS.
So I've got a breakdown right here. It says according to VGC's breakdown, which the site admits itself that it's not completely accurate, owing to the fact that some titles may have already been taken down. The 2,200 games or so that will be removed from the store August 27th when the PSP Vita stores are taken down include roughly about 630 digital only Vita games, about 730 digital only PS3 and PSN games, a tiny number of digital only PSP games, 293 PlayStation Mini games, 336 PS2 classics, and around 260 PS1 classics on the PSP and PS Vita stores.
Well, PS2 and PS1, you'll still have digital, or I mean physical.
You'll still have. We're not talking about physical. We're talking about digital.
Just digital. Yeah, but I don't know why those are. I mean,
because
listed.
you can't buy them in most cases, though. Like you're currently physical store or physical
it will
items
be harder to find the
for PSP
item,
and PS1s. It will be extremely hard to find them, and they will be overpriced as fuck because they're technically considered collectible items.
PS3 is going to be the same way too soon too, because of there's a malware, or not a malware, but a hardware issue with the motherboard battery on the PS3s, where if it dies and you go to replace it, like crack it open, replace it, it refuses to read discs afterwards.
No.
And it refuses to read off of the hard drives. So once those PS3s die, those are all gone as well. So it's not it's scary.
It's a big issue. Like I said, like I'm a very big proponent of like preserving old games. That's why I like CDPR and Xbox, but as well as like CDPR and GOG, right? GOG is all about saving old games, right? They're all about DRM free games, offering up as many of those old games that you can buy with, you know, pennies on the dollar in some cases for some of them, right? But I am extremely impressed, and granted, I think that this is a bit of a fuck you to Sony because they didn't really. I mean, they've been kind of coming out. They've been kind of coming out and being like, you know, we like to preserve our studios, blah 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 blah, this and that in between. But they've never come out and like with a hard hitting statement like this. After this whole breakdown of and an announcement of these stores being shut down, Xbox and Microsoft came out with a press release basically stating that they are dedicated to preserving and furthering the old games that they have released on the old Xboxes, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, everything like that. So it's definitely one of those things where it's like a big fuck you to Sony, but I'm also, you know, if they do what they're saying that they're going to do, it's an admirable thing for them to do, you know, preserving the past when it comes to video games, because it's still art, right? Like it's considered art in my eyes.
Yeah.
And even the lower tier, like lesser known video games, there's still a love for them from somebody out there, you know.
Hell, I still know two people that still have an original fucking Nintendo and they still play it on almost a daily basis.
Hey man, I just bought a really rare version of Super Mario Brothers. And
how much you pay
for that? So they're saying like there's no way to get these things back. Like
no.
Once they shut down, any digital content
unless you have it downloaded to your hard drive,
unless you have an actual copy of it through means of like ROMs or anything like that, like there's no way of actually obtaining these.
Gotta imagine that the devs of some of these games at least will, if wanted to, do something to get the game out somewhere else.
That's
They
a
That's
lot,
all-
that's a
all
lot
that
of
up to
all-
time
the
and effort, though.
yeah, and like that's all up to the dev.
Not
like,
only a lot of time and effort, but that's also up to Sony if they want them, if they have a legal contract with them
dude,
to only support Sony products.
If that is the case, if Sony were to say no, you're not allowed to release this anywhere else
mean,
because we
it's-
own it.
It's not that far fetched. Like
No,
they've
it's
done
not
it
because
before.
it's
That's the worst
Sony.
part.
I know. It's just like that is so shitty, bro. Like
I hope there's some mad lad out there that's just like taking the next like month or so to like
Just
download and
download
archive
them.
everything.
yeah.
Well, there is
archive
there is a
it and
guy
release
that
it.
like that I think does that. Like he I don't know. He has an art like a whole library or whatever else. Like he's trying to amass that like to keep that kind of thing going. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
That'd be pretty cool. Just so that there's a
Still,
legacy for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
remnants of it.
I don't know. It's
Well, and that's one reason why I don't like digital only stores anymore. Like I granted I buy a lot of my stuff off of Steam, because there's no real other fucking option anymore.
Not for PC, no.
But
No.
it's like one of the biggest things is like just what happened right there, right? Once they stop supporting said store, God help us if Steam ever fucking stops supporting itself and just completely shuts down, which I don't think will ever happen.
No,
But if
the-
it does, I have like 360 titles that I will never have access to ever again.
Yeah.
welcome to the
Well-
digital future, boys. This is the world we live in.
eventually we'll all be uploaded onto a server, and then that server will
okay
go
with
down,
that.
and none of us will exist.
I'm okay with that. As long as they stop the world like they did with the Final Fantasy and just make it go out with a bang, I'd be okay.
Yeah, but then we're gonna get reborn, right? Final Fantasy Reborn.
Yeah, maybe
We're
not.
gonna get
remastered.
World Reborn, and we'll get remastered. Will be sold
Yeah,
for
but we'll be full
Speak-
price. We'll be full
Speaking
price.
speaking of Final Fantasy, I just read an article while we were talking a little bit. Apparently, the lead designer Yoshi P was on stream a few nights back for like 7 hours, baking cookies, drinking wine, and playing Final Fantasy 14.
Dude, that sounds like a good night.
interesting.
I love Yoshi P, man. He's amazing.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, it didn't look like we got any questions in chat. So I think this is gonna be a first for us, where we're actually gonna end the show without any kind of questions. But in any case, thank you guys all for
I have
being
a question for us,
okay.
actually.
All right. Well, go
Sorry.
ahead. No, sure.
Backtracking back to Remnant, what all was y'all's issue with Kronos?
I don't think we got enough time
Or
to go into
okay,
that.
that's fine. We can save it for next podcast. I do want to talk about that. though,
I don't
because-
know. I don't actually know what.
Or we can
was
talk to it
Chronos
off stream.
again. I forget.
It's
There's
their
the
new one
developer.
that they brought out. It's like a
Yeah.
Soulsborne type deal. Like
We
a
can talk to it
Soulsborne.
offline. It's
Okay, I'll have to
No, we
look
can
at
talk about it
that.
on next
Yeah.
show. I think we can talk about it next show. We'll save it for
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Next show sounds
And-
good.
and next show we will well, depending on how much news is coming out. Maybe if it's a short news week, we'll fucking do the rumble and the.
We could slip it in there, just a little, just
You gotta be careful, bro. You gotta be careful
Just
what
the
you're
tip.
slipping in where.
just a tip.
But maybe next show we'll do just a fucking Royal Rumble and it'll just be like
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom
I
Hearts.
don't want to be here for that, so you guys can have fun on that.
Why? Come on now.
Just me and Sin going back and forth.
I'm
Mickey
just-
Mouse.
Because every time you and Bill go at it with fucking with Rainbow Six Siege, I'm just like, I have no fucking interest in doing this.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll don't
And then
worry. I'll
and then
fucking.
you guys went in on fucking Scruffy with Final Fantasy or with
Dude.
I'll,
we'll just poke PDO.
yeah,
and
don't
I'm just
worry.
like,
Like,
well,
I'll
there you
punch
go.
you in the head with
There you go.
BDO, bro. Just-
Yeah,
I never have anybody in my corner anyway, so it's fine. I'm used to it. But at this
we're
point,
all in our own corner.
bullshit.
That's true. No, it's
No,
true. We
you're
legitimately
over
have four
there.
corners.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
on
Well,
your screen, I think you're over there.
no. Anyway, all right, guys. Cool. Well, I think that's it. Thank you guys all for being here and hanging out. Really
Yeah.
enjoyed the show this week. And as always, sad to see it go, but it's we'll be back in
Love
2
to
weeks.
watch it leave.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
We'll be
2
back-
weeks, I'm sure will come up fast. I think it'll be faster than this week.
Yeah, we'll be
This last-
hopefully, guys, in 2 weeks, and next time that we have a podcast, I will have my real estate license. So I'm hoping that will be done.
Good
And
luck.
I can
Which
celebrate
means
that.
streams should be returning soon, yeah?
Yeah, streams should as soon as I can get done. streams would will return back to normal. I really want to. I don't even know how to pronounce your name. I'm gonna say Rev. I really fucking want to talk about Godzilla versus King Kong, but there's too many. It's too early.
Can't
and,
derail on another movie talk.
Yeah, we can't do that. Maybe next time it'll be a little bit farther out.
Yeah.
Maybe we just need to make another podcast and call it like.
Bro, I'd be
movie.
down to do
I
a
would
movie
be
podcast.
so down. I love talking about movies, bro.
I would be down to do a movie
I
discussion.
don't watch enough movies for that.
I am gonna go watch Mortal Kombat April 16th in theaters. That will be I think what next show? Yeah, that's next week. Woo!
16th, yeah.
It's gonna be good. I can't wait. That's gonna be awesome.
We'll add a movie topic sometimes. Here and there.
I'm down to do a
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
show. If anybody wants to do a movie podcast, hit me up. You guys know where to find me. I would be down to do a podcast about movies. So, but in any case, guys, this podcast is not about movies. This podcast is about video games, and it's the best goddamn video game podcast on the internet. So if you did miss the show, make sure that you go and check it out on Spotify. You can hit !mark show and all our podcasts and all of our channels and bring up the link there. Or you can just search it on Spotify for PrePatch Podcast
I
and
think it's PrePatch Team.
or PrePatch
PrePatch
Team
Pretty sure it's
Podcast.
PrePatch Team. You can only get it from PrePatch Team. if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken.
well, you look up PrePatch Team, PrePatch Podcast. Something
I
you
don't
will
know
find
why.
us. You'll find us there.
I don't know why I name it PrePatch Podcast. I think it just goes off of what I subsequently named the fucking channel for Spotify, which is annoying as shit. But
Well,
It's
either
good.
way.
It
But
works.
you can get us there. You can also get us on YouTube. Obviously, you can get us on VODs, whether you're on my channel over on YouTube or whether you're on Scruffy and Bill's channel over on Twitch. And again, we do these things every other Thursday, so you guys are able to come in here and chat live. We love participation. The chat tonight was off the hook. You guys were having discussions in your own corners as well as kind of with us. And you know what? I need more people to fight with. So, I mean, I've got these 4 buffoons and then I also have you guys. So I just, please continue to bring the hate to my corner. In any case, guys, you have been amazing. We will catch you guys next Thursday. We're out of here.
Later,
Good, everybody.
Peace.
Installation.